Cinema rules, turn your phone off or put it on silent mode. That includes you, viewers.
Try to type too loud as well, Maylene. Because like last week, I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, fucking all I could hear was you typing when I...
So like you're playing Guitar Hero back there.
Welcome to this episode of Trash Taste. It's a little darker than usual because one of our lights decided to yeet out as we used it earlier.
Just randomly, yeah.
Just started strobing and it was not a pleasant feeling. So it's a little darker than normal, but don't worry about it. It's audio only listeners.
Luckily, none of us have photosensitive epilepsy because that was like dangerous shit, man.
That was strobing like crazy.
Yeah, it was full on strobing. So we're very lucky that none of us suffer from that. But anyway, boys, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
I'm feeling very energized right now.
Why is that?
I don't know, just am. I had Mexican. No, I didn't have Mexican food. I had Thai food, and my stomach was dying.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to die. And then I went to the toilet, and now I feel like a 10.
You took like
Thai food does do that to you.
You took 2 shits in the span of an hour. That's pretty. It's pretty remarkable.
I'm not proud of it, Joey. I'm not.
It happens, man. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like literally, you know that like curry place near our house. Like literally every time I come home after that, I'm just like immediately have to take a shit, and then I wake up in the middle of the night and have to take another shit.
It's unfortunate being like a white guy who loves spicy food because my body does not agree with it, but I love the taste of it, and I suffer the next day.
I feel like being white, being Southeast Asian, being anything, your body just doesn't love spicy food. Like,
really? You get that as well?
No, I can handle spicy food, but my stomach doesn't like it. like every time I fucking like chow down on a massive fat Indian, right? Yeah. It's like a ticking time bomb. Okay,
Why do you describe it like a fat Indian?
Chungus Indian.
But I know exactly what you mean.
It's a fucking.
It's a massive.
You never just have like a smaller.
To be fair, I've never ordered Indian food and been like, man, that was just too little.
No, it's got to be a fat curry. You know what I mean? And it's a fucking ticking time bomb. Like I know because there's a local Indian place that I order from. Then they do it like proper spicy, and depending on what time of the day I eat it in, like there's a timer where I have to wait 6 hours, and I'm just like gonna be like, okay, this hour I'm gonna be just like incapacitated on the toilet. That's just the way it's gonna be. And like sometimes when I have it for dinner, I'm just like, oh no, I'm gonna wake up at like 3 a.m. sometimes because my stomach just needs to go now.
Oh, man, go on.
I was just gonna say, I hope you're enjoying this podcast, guys. Where the first 10 minutes we're talking about violent shits.
I just thought it's very relatable content. Hashtag relatable.
Hashtag painful shit.
Hashtag relatable. Take a painful shit. Hey.
Question: do you think it's weird that we like listen to ourselves often? Like, because we have to hear our voice all the time.
Yeah.
Do you think that's weird?
I mean, it was weird when we first started off, right?
Because people at home. Have you ever listened to your voice recorded? You probably hate it, right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming, right?
I mean, I've never grown out of that.
You're still. If anyone should be grown out of it, it's you.
I hate looking at my own, like hearing my own voice, looking at my own content. Like whenever I do a collaboration with someone, I watch like the bare minimum just to get what's going on. And then like I watch every moment of that collab that I'm not in. I'm just like, oh, I'm in it. Skip ahead. Okay.
You're like in the comments, timestamps please of when I'm not on it. Wait, so why though? Like why can you like, I mean, okay, maybe it's the better question to ask, why can we stand our own voice? Because that's probably the weirdest side.
Probably because you just got used to it, right? I mean, like, I don't think anyone grew up, right, and like ever went into that situation. I'm sure every family had it where your parents would just be like, you know what, there's nothing really to watch. Oh, I found some home videos. We can watch those. And you're like, no, thank you. Because I don't know. I always fucking hate it when my parents would play home videos in front of me.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah.
Because it's always me being a fucking idiot.
Yeah, but it's also like I used to have like a fucking squeaker voice when I was like 5 years old. I legitimately used to sound like, hi guys. Like I legit used to have that voice. And my dad would always fucking rag me on, being like, man, your balls really dropped all of a sudden, didn't they? And I fucking hated that. Because when you're a kid, you're not aware that you have that voice.
No.
Right?
Because everyone has the same voice around you.
Exactly. And you grow with your voice. So you don't suddenly be like, oh, my voice got deeper. Unless it's like a really rapid growth, like kind of like how you have that.
Where you just like your balls just fucking dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought when it happened, I thought it was going to go back. I thought I was sick or something.
Right.
And everyone at school didn't believe me.
Yeah, but that's because your balls dropped like a fucking cannonball, right? Like mine kind of dropped. Yeah, mine kind of dropped like, you know, it was like putting like a rock in water. It's just a very slow drop. Right?
That's not very slow, Joe.
Well, you know what I mean. It's like because you grow with it, especially if it's a natural drop. then you don't realize that, oh, I went from fucking Alvin and the
We
Chipmunks to
really talking about the speed
Low
our balls drops now.
No. Yeah.
So you don't watch the podcast at all after we?
I like the.
You don't watch Trash Taste?
Wow.
I watched like some highlights. I don't know, like because I feel like with me, I'm just super self-critical, and I've always been this way, whether it be with my work or myself, and that's why like I'd say like I've seen anytime I see like criticisms of my videos or my work, I'm more fine with it because there hasn't been something that's been said about me that I haven't already said about myself in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
I feel that.
So unless I'm like super proud of a video, I really find it difficult to watch it because I see all the things that I kind of could improve on it or that I fucking hate about it, and it's just out there, and I can't like.
So you're too much of a perfectionist, basically. That's from what I'm getting.
I hate the word perfectionist,
but you are a perfectionist.
I like this. I prefer the term self-critical.
A self-critical perfectionist is what you are, essentially. Because like you have an editor, but you also edit your own stuff too, right? Like everyone.
You always do like the finishing touches.
Yeah, I always do the finishing touches.
So wait, so
when there's a collab where I have zero control over it, that's just like I wake up in a cold sweat. I'm just like, what if I just look like an arsehole in this one? You know, it's.
So wait, so then how do you get through your editing process? Because you have to listen to yourself, right? Over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So are you just like cringing internally as you're like, I need to edit this part?
Do you not record it? Because you're doing like, you had jokes, you had punchlines.
Yeah.
Do you not like think, damn, that was a good delivery. I nailed that delivery.
Yeah. And sometimes I listen to a joke and I edit it for like 3 hours and I'm just like, this joke's not funny anymore. And I just cut it. And it's a weird thing where depending on how my mood is, my video could just be completely different. Like I could just be watching myself and I'm just like, I hate this part. I'm gonna just re-record this entire segment, even though it's gonna add like 2-3 hours to my fucking video making process, and then I do it.
See, that's why I'm glad that I got an editor that has that I gave complete creative freedom to. Because I'm pretty sure you were talking about this earlier, but like, at least with my editor. He leaves in shit that I would have otherwise cut out.
No, that's what I like. I tell anyone I hire to edit for me, I'm like, I don't care how bad it makes me look.
Yeah.
Just make it funny.
Yeah.
Please make it funny. Like,
because at least, right, you're gonna get the draft, right,
Yeah.
and you're gonna check it, and if it's really fucking bad, then you can just tell them to cut it out. But a lot of the times, it's like, oh, I in my head, I thought this was not gonna make it into the video, but he kind of twisted it in a way where it's like, oh, you know what? That's kind of a funny bit I never thought about.
Yeah, or like where I like fail a joke and I'm like, let me do that again.
Yeah,
and they leave that in.
Yeah.
And that's just the joke.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
oh fuck, okay.
I mean, I guess it's like the difference between like heavily scripted content and more like improvised content, because there are times when I think I have like a fucking banger of a joke and then I watch it like 30 times as I'm editing it and I have to like question whether it was funny in the first place or whether I've seen it so many fucking times that it's just lost all like comedic effect to me.
The reason I asked that question earlier was because I saw a video. I don't know if it was a TED Talk. It sounds like a TED Talk topic, but it was something like everyday people should just like record their voice and listen to it so they can improve their speaking in general to be more confident.
Right.
Yeah.
Because their theory was that your overall general quality of life in like doing anything in daily life improves drastically if your speaking is more confident. Like if your voice is more confident.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I think in general, definitely, like if there's been the one big thing in my life that has done me solids, it's the voice and talking, you know. I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
Just going at it. I don't know. And I made me think a lot. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I'd never really thought about, I mean, obviously, you know, people say, oh, you have a nice voice and shit.
Yeah.
Not to stroke my own fucking dick, but you know, that's the compliment I get the most, right?
Yeah.
And I thought
you
I
are
put
voice-
VA in my name for a
You
reason.
do have
right?
VA in your name,
and
right?
it's the reason I became a voice actor because people were telling me like, hey, you have a nice voice. And I thought, oh, maybe, yeah.
Fuck, you know, you're right.
I'm like, damn, I do kind of, I'm kidding. Because when I first recorded myself, I thought it sounded like shit. And then
Everyone
now,
thinks that though.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it's one of those things where I think that it's definitely helped me a bunch because not only have I improved my enunciation and just general patterns of my speech, it's just made my whole life more confident by doing that.
Yeah,
Like,
because your general self-confidence is
yeah,
gone up,
because
right?
because if I'm hearing it, I'm like, damn, I sound good.
Yeah.
Like, is that conceited as fuck?
No.
No. I mean, it's just you get a skill set by practicing it, right? I mean,
yeah.
like,
And you get happy with the ability that you have to like change it and make it sound the way you want. I think.
yeah. And like I feel like even just being on Trash Taste and just like I don't watch every episode that I'm in, but like I still have to watch like certain clips just to check in and everything like that. And I feel like especially my speaking skills has gotten a lot better. Of course I fuck up point. As soon as I say that. God damn it.
You really drove that point home, Garm. Thank you.
Oh my God.
No, I agree. Like I used to fucking hate public speaking. In school. It was
me too.
The worst thing. And which was weird because I used to be part of my school's debating team. Like we had like a debating team. And you know, it was like groups of 3 and you'd usually go against other schools about whatever the fuck it was.
We do not have this in the UK, I don't think. Unless you're in Oxford, Cambridge, I don't think so. Definitely didn't have this where I grew up.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was literally just the 3 of us that did it. Yeah. And so I decided to join that because I realized how much I fucking hated public speaking and how bad I was at just speaking in general. So I was like,
how old are you when you decided to do this?
This was in this was in elementary school. So this was like
God damn.
5th or 6th grade.
So like 11, 12-year-old Joey was like, you know what? I have a deficiency. I would like to improve. Yeah. I'm going to do that.
You know what? Like watching all of those like Squeaker family videos, man, I was just like, I need to improve my voice, man. I don't want to sound like Alvin. So basically, so I joined this debating team. And of course, like I was in it for like 2 years, but I was still nervous as shit. Like I was very fiddly and I had this really bad habit of swaying as I talked.
Yeah, like you don't realize how many subconscious things you do until you get filmed.
Yeah, and you watch yourself. You should record yourself.
Yeah. No, and that's what we did. All right. So my parents sometimes would come to these debating things with other schools, and of course they would record it just for memory's sake. And of course, I'd be forced to watch it during our family fucking, family video session.
Put it on the 4K monitor.
Yeah, exactly. And so I watch back on it, I'll be like, Jesus Christ, I look like fucking schizophrenic patient. I was like, I'm just fucking fiddling like, so my conclusion is...
yeah, but you were 12, dude. I probably shit my pants in that situation.
No, but here's the thing. All the other like schools we went up against were just fucking chat as shit. They were like... Yes, Your Honor. Let me defend myself and my colleagues right here. It's like, and meanwhile, I'm just like, you have a point, but no. Like, it was that level. It was fucking horrible. But then, so I tried to use that skill when I first started doing YouTube. Yeah. But of course, like everyone's first YouTube videos, it's shit. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, of course.
And I had that. I still have this problem to this day where I say like and way too much.
Yeah.
And
same.
People on Trash Taste have pointed out being like, take a shot every time Joey says like or and you'll be dead in the first 5 minutes.
You have like a lot of, like everyone subconsciously has a lot of filler words that you don't normally hear yourself saying because it's filler words. When you say it, you kind of like fill in the gap yourself. And there are times when I say like a lot, and then there are times when I just swear a lot as well.
Yeah, it's either like, or fucking. That's my 3 filler words.
But also, I'm sitting there, right? I'm a viewer, right? Who am I to be like, I can't believe he says like too much, as if they have like the most immaculate speech.
Right. That's right. It's like, who are you? Who are you to judge? It's like, do you go around not saying the word like ever in your speech, like with any other people? Like,
I don't know. I guess it's because is it? I don't know. I don't get it because I understand that everyone has shit that they do. That they might want to change. But fuck, there's something in my eye. Fuck. Why do you need to feel the need to like tell people? I guess. Wow, there's really something.
Yeah, you're right.
You're good.
Keep talking.
Okay.
Yeah, but what were we talking about?
We were talking.
Yeah. So like YouTube videos fixing your speech.
Yeah,
patterns.
because I feel like when people see doing stuff on YouTube nowadays, it's like the expectation is that. For some reason, the expectation is they must know what they're doing. They're professionals, right? And it's really weird because I remember the first time I felt this was when I started to get asked to do like panels and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, I've never been good at public speaking my entire fucking life. And just because I have this audience, this virtual audience on YouTube, like conventions and stuff, expect you to like be like a top tier panelist and stuff. I'm just like, this is a skill I had to like learn trial by fire. You know what I mean? Because my first few panels were fucking shit, and I felt like shit because I was shit at public speaking. But because you were forced to be put put that. They force you to be put in that situation. You just had to learn it on the fly. But I do find it funny that just because we're on YouTube, people do have this expectation of just like, yeah, they must be really confident and have this professional kind of fucking background in
Otherwise, how would
broadcasting.
they get all these subs, right? It's like
And
if you
they-
couldn't talk properly.
And they seem to forget that we all started in the same place, making videos in our uni bedroom or our parents' basement
Although,
or something like
to
that.
be fair, in my case, it's a little bit different because I hated public speaking, but I was always okay in front of large crowds, which is weird. You think it's kind of
Isn't that
counterintuitive.
literally public speaking?
No, but here's the thing.
Private speaking, if it's
That's the thing though. It's like when I was doing the debating team stuff, the most we would ever talk in front of was maybe 30 people.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's some weird. It's really counterintuitive, but a lot of the times I'm more nervous in front of a small crowd than I am a large
I think
crowd.
it's more intimate,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Like it's if you have to do it in front of people you know, especially.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot harder.
Because I've done because I used to do classical piano, and I played live at like the Sydney Opera House once in front of like 1,000
Damn,
people.
Oh shit, man!
Dropping that like it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, I guess I did, you know.
That came out of nowhere.
So basically, I used to do like music like properly.
Yeah.
And I got the chance to perform at the Sydney Opera House in front of like 1,000 people.
How
And
old are you?
14, 15.
Oh, wow.
Something like that. And yeah, it was just like, yeah, you're playing at the Opera House. I'm like, like the Opera House. Like,
Damn,
yeah.
that's the Asian parent's dream right
Yeah.
there, Joe.
Oh, dude.
Goddamn.
My mom has never been more proud of me. That's all that moment.
That's
It's just
never,
like,
that's never coming off the fridge, that's
like,
for sure.
yeah, extra rice for you tonight.
Did your mum fucking film it and then like
Of
frame
course she
it
did.
and then frame it and then put it in like the safe and stuff?
Yeah,
and just,
yeah.
like,
Of course she did. Of course she did.
I think one thing that really helped me realize that start not giving a fuck is that, and this is just in general life as well, is that like, I don't remember who told me this. They were like, everyone is always way more worried about themselves than they ever are about you.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like,
Yeah.
if you just think about it like that and think about how you think about it when someone is public speaking, I don't fucking care if they're shit. Most of the time, I'm just sitting there anyway. Like, they can just say anything and I'll probably be like, oh, cool, yeah, all right. Like, unless they, like, literally shit their pants on stage, I'm not going to think anything bad of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if you go into that mindset of, okay, I'm going to talk in front of these people, none of them care, really. Fuck it. How can I fuck this up? I can't be terrible.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
speech I feel is a little bit different because even if you do fuck up, you can very quickly try and fix it, right? It's a little bit different when you're playing solo piano in front of a crowd.
No, dude, just call it jazz. Call
Everyone-
it jazz. Just, dude, come on.
It's not classical anymore, it's jazz now.
When
It's
you go
improv.
on stage, do you remember the stuff you do and the stuff you say? Because I don't remember
no.
that shit. Like because
Sometimes.
do you still get nerves when you have like a big panel or a big event?
Yeah.
Anymore?
Like,
No.
I
not
get
anymore.
nerves right up until I'm on stage.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
So like on
It's-
the like up the stairs going onto
It's-
the stage, I'm fucking nervous
Well,
as
'cause
shit.
It's the anticipation.
Yeah.
It's just like I just want to get this over with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just
Yeah.
want to get on stage and just do my shit.
yeah.
I mean, the reason why is because, you know, if you're doing a debate thing, no one cares about who you are, right?
Yeah.
You're just-
Yeah.
But when it's your panel, right, all the people come for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could sit there and insult them for 20 minutes. And they'd probably be like, damn, Connor's exactly like he is on camera, man. Hell yeah. I'm
He's
kidding.
just
I'm
as
not.
much of an asshole.
You know what I mean? Because that's how you deal with like hecklers, right? Like,
Yeah.
you just give them shit.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, that was funny. You know?
Have you ever had hecklers at a panel?
Yeah, one time.
Really?
Yeah, they were
What-
like,
what
being an
happened?
asshole. So, oh god, it was at a fucking hentai panel, and
Oh well, that's
of
the
course,
problem.
of course.
It's dude. R18 panels. I've never done
Yeah.
one because it's everything I've heard about is a fucking horror.
Oh my god,
story.
I can't believe I didn't mention this in like the convention story.
Yeah.
So I do. I offer to like conventions. I'm like, hey, do you want me to run a hentai dubbing panel?
Yeah.
And essentially what it is I just get a bunch of hentai and I blur out the subtitles,
Right.
and I'm like, wing it.
Right.
Like, just make shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are fucking terrible at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's funny. But eventually you'll get like one person who's actually like really fucking funny.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what it's for.
Yeah.
But I mean, one time I was doing it and there's this dude in the back. He must have been like 30 something, just on his own. And he was just shouting, cringe, cringe,
Right.
cringe the whole time. And I was like, do you want to come up? He was like, no. And I'm like, well, get the fuck out then. And everyone was like,
Golf claps, everybody.
And then they clapped and everyone
no
cheered.
joke, no joke.
No, because at panels, there's always that one guy who thinks that like the panel was a YouTube comment section.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and they always try to like be that fucking smart ass to like throw out that smart ass comment, and it's never fucking funny. You know who you are. Okay?
I don't know. I must be blessed because I've never had that at a panel of mine.
I mean, normally at those type of panel, the loud people are good because you can just bring them up.
Yeah.
Do it.
I mean, if I ever put into that situation, I'd do exactly the same thing, right?
God, it was terrible.
Just tell them to fuck off.
One time there was this hentai, and it was brother and sister.
Right.
And a brother and sister came up to dub it. And it was the most cursed thing I'd ever done in my life.
Jesus
Oh, God.
It was terrible.
Yeah, that's cursed.
It was so cursed. I regretted it. And you know when you do something, you're like, this sounds hilarious. And then it starts and you're like, oh no. Oh no, please stop. Please stop.
It's just like immediate regret. You know what I mean?
They offered and I was like, oh God. Yeah, this sounds funny. And I was no.
I've never been tempted to do an R18 panel.
No. I've only seen like bad things happen at R18
I've only
panels.
seen and heard the worst things.
Because here's the thing, like if you come to my panel, like I'm usually open to any kind of question it is.
Yeah.
But it seems like when people see R18 in a panel,
they go way off the
I've been to R18 panels.
Yeah.
They ask shit that is not like it's bad in any kind of context.
Well, I mean, it's not a question. It's just dub hentai. Don't fucking do anything weird.
Yeah.
And if you do,
No, but what I'm talking about is like
the
the R18 like Q&A panels.
Yeah, those are fucking weird. I don't get those.
And like, I don't know what it is. Some people just think, oh, it's R18. Therefore, I can ask them the most like private shit
Yeah.
that they otherwise wouldn't say. I'm like, no, motherfucker, I'm not going to tell you private shit just because it's R18. I don't care.
Like, motherfucker, even my therapist doesn't ask this shit. And here you are, just asking about the most intimate fucking details of my life. You know what I mean? I've never been on an R18 panel, but I've seen some of the questions that have been asked on R18 panels.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
It just depends on the crowd, doesn't it, really? Sometimes you get real, like, oh, God. And sometimes they're quite funny.
I mean, that's the thing. It can be funny, but there are just some people who don't know what funny is. You know? Like, it's funny to them, but then the moment it comes out, everyone's like, yikes, you shouldn't have said that.
I mean, that's like Discord humor, right? It's like funny between you and your friends, but not funny to everyone else in the room. Most of the time.
Well, so sometimes it's like online humor just doesn't translate into real life situations, especially with a lot of Discord humor. You know what I mean?
And you can tell when someone's been on Discord a little too much. When they ask questions like that, it's like, okay, you need some real interaction.
Man, I saw this tweet and it made me think about Discord. I know I'm keep changing topics here, but there was someone who was like, you can't be well adjusted if all your friends are only on Discord. What do you think about that statement?
that is a take.
Because I thought about it, and and I when I read that, I'm like, that seems way too like harsh.
Yeah.
But the more I thought about it, the more people I know who are kind of like, I don't know. And when I was the same, when I had friends online, I don't think I was very well adjusted when I only had friends online.
Do you know what I'm imagining right now? You know the picture of that stick guy who's just like,
Yeah.
that was my exact reaction.
It sounds sounds too much.
Like that's a bit of a generalization.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I'm thinking, of the people I know who only have friends on Discord, and like only have friends on Discord, who I've probably like, you know, especially people who I've like, you know, seen at anime conventions and stuff.
Right.
It's like always people who are a bit weird in terms of like how they are socially adjusted and everything like that.
This episode is sponsored by Honey.
Imagine this. You make a list of gifts you're gonna buy for the holidays, and then someone randomly gives you the money to help you buy one. Sounds good, right? Well, that is what Honey's doing.
No fucking way.
That is exactly what Honey's doing.
They're helping pay for $1 million worth of gifts,
Man, even Santa could not
whole
do
million?
that.
This ain't no more either. This is the money, the real gold.
You're probably wondering, is this the same Honey that automatically searches for promo codes online?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Joey. Of course it is. Why would you even say that?
I can confirm that it is, because the script says so.
With Honey, you can also make a list of all the holiday gifts you want from certain stores, and Honey will email you when the price drops on anything on your list.
Just add Honey to your computer, create a free account, and throw some holiday gifts from your drop list for a chance to win. To win what?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Garn, because Honey will randomly select winners and give them money to help buy something on their list.
You're gonna win the money.
Are we winning, son? Are we actually winning, son?
You are winning, son, if you use Honey.
Joey, what are you going to add to your drop list this Christmas?
I want a PS5.
Understandable. Have a nice day. No purchase necessary. You need a PayPal account to redeem the prize.
It's only valid in the US until December the 21st, 2020, so get in quick.
So you can get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/trashtaste. That is joinhoney.com/trashtaste for all your Christmas needs.
Thank you so
Fuck
much.
Santa, go to Honey.
Epic.
I feel like there is a difference between online friends and, let's say, real friends, okay?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I say this as someone who has met most of my friends online and has found my fiance online, you know what I mean? Like, I will say that they didn't feel like real friends, like, until I saw them in real life. I feel like that's like sealing the deal. Because there's something about having online friends where there's always that wall of like, how well do I really know this person? You know what I mean? And there has been like plenty of times where I've like connected with them immediately, you know, you guys being like some of them.
Yeah.
And then there are equally as many times when I meet them in real life and they're just like, wow, you were not how I imagined you to be. And this is weird now. And I feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you just have that first step where it is just the online relationships, you're missing out on a big part of what it is to, you know, be friends and be social and everything like that.
I mean, I've always been, since like fucking age 12, I would happily get on fucking voice chat and talk to like fucking 30-year-old men. Why did I do that? That
sounds.
I would not let my 12-year-old do
what was
that.
the context of this?
So he invited me to a chat room.
Sounds like the beginning to a Chris Hansen episode.
You know what? Okay, like when you put like COD Zombies, right? I would gladly get on the fucking mic and like I would like bully these 30-year-old men. Like gladly. Like, I didn't give a fuck, dude. When I was 12, I would gladly like shout at people. Like, I would be.
Nah, I didn't have that, man.
Well, this
is your anger.
Like the comment said, dude. I'm a walking coin flip. Someone said.
Oh, man, you asked for Danny G, yeah?
Right, you asked for Danny G. You come down to Birmingham. I love that meme. That was okay. No joke, right? When my little brother was too scared to argue with people online, so when he did start to argue with people online, and I was in the other room, I'd be like, Owen, give me the fucking headset. I'm gonna argue. You play. And so I would fucking shout at them for him.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't do it good. And he would lose the arguments. I'm like, you're not losing the arguments on my account.
Right. Over my fucking dead body.
You think I will allow you to lose this? I don't know. I would just, because it's one of those things, right, where I would not fall for shit when I was like 12 or 13. Like the shit that they would try and pull. Like,
Right.
I for some reason, I knew what was happening most of the time when I was aware. Because even from like age.
What was happening?
I was fucking playing zombies with them most of the time. Most of them were chill. Yeah, it was all good. I mean, I don't know. I think it was weird back then because it just started when everyone started voice chatting. I think it was new.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really weird yet. I think. Now it's weird if you do. I think it's super weird. But back then I didn't think of it as that weird when I was a kid. But maybe because I didn't care.
Sure.
I mean, back then it was like this new thing, and now with so many fucking weird stories coming out, you got to be.
Yeah, and now it's not. You know, if I had a 12-year-old kid and I heard him talking to a 30-year-old man, I'd like be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
But like, you know, I get why people have a lot of online friends. It's because most of the time people search for online friends because they don't find that connection in the people around
I
them.
did. Yeah, I
you know what I mean?
felt that.
Yeah, I know, but it's the same thing I would say as like, you know, when you can have like the best friend in the world, but as soon as like you move in with each other and live in the same house, that like change a lot of dynamics. You know what I mean? Especially, you know, you meet someone, especially in fucking uni. You meet some people who you think are chill. As soon as you move in with each other, you start hating each other.
Yeah, it's true.
And you see all their little fucking ticks and stuff that just get on your nerves. Yeah. So
I mean, there was like I've basically been raised like on the internet, right? Like ever since like age like 11, I was playing RuneScape. I was doing shit on Miniclip. Like, I was and I always did not mind talking to strangers because I always thought like, I'm not going to give out any personal information. You know, I never did. For some reason, I was smart enough to never do anything like that. And there must have been a good chunk, maybe like a year in my life where I pretty much only spoke to online people, like friends that I thought were like my friends. Yeah, it must have been my maybe first year of university.
It's really weird. I never had a concept of an online friend until I started YouTube.
Yeah.
Like I never would get on to like.
I feel like we were two different sides of like the coin because I was always like. I would always go on.
Because in my head, I was like, why would I talk to this random person online when I have IRL friends to talk to?
Well, that's the sad.
Oh, that's the thing,
well, there
right?
you go, Joey. Here's where it gets sad. I didn't at the time.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is, right, is that you think, oh, this is like, because I used to see those things on Twitter, because back then you used to see these things like IRL online friends are real friends.
Yeah.
Mom, you don't get it, you know.
Yeah.
Back when Tumblr was like, you know, peak Tumblr.
Yeah.
And I used to totally agree with that because I was like, I was 16 and that's all I had. And then after I like actually got real friends, I was like, oh, this is what normal friendship is like. Like, it's like totally different.
Yeah. Right.
And it's something that like, I don't think you realize kind of affects you because you totally think you're fine. And I think you can be well adjusted sort of if you have only online friends, but it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
Because I feel like having that IRL kind of interaction to ground you and make sure you're not doing weird things and that you're interacting in a healthy way, right?
Yeah, I mean, because the thing about only having online friends is that inevitably you are just living in your own bubble. It is an online bubble, right?
And you live through what you present to them.
Yeah, exactly, right? You're only presenting one side of yourself or the best side of yourself. You're not seeing every side of a person. So inevitably, if you just live in a bubble, you might luck out and be like, okay, this is actually a healthy, nicely balanced bubble. But, most of the time, you're missing some kind of that social interaction and social connection that you just don't get online, unfortunately.
And I also think because I made a lot of the friends through gaming, a lot of the time, how you were as friends was dependent on how you were in the game.
Right.
And obviously, I was normally really good at the games.
Yeah.
So I was normally like, I'm kind of cool, kind of a baller. And it was one of those things where online, when I spoke to these people, like I was like, to those friends, I was respected, and they thought, "Wow, this guy's so cool." He just does his own thing, and But in real life, I was a fucking loser, and it kind of made this dichotomy in my head where I'm like, "Yeah, I'm funny, yeah, I'm charming," and then I go meet up with people, and I fucking struggle. Like I couldn't, I didn't know how to because I wasn't very well adjusted.
Yeah,
and it made me think a lot, and makes me look back, and I don't know. It's like, how do you convince someone when they're in that to see it? Like when they're in that sense of, I only have online friends. How do you make them see that maybe it's not a healthy, like it's not very healthy, because to them they might be perfectly happy and fine.
Right, and that's the thing. I think it's just a matter of perspective, right? Because to them, that's all they know.
Yeah.
So I don't think until they actually experience the other side of like trying to begin and start and maintain IRL friends.
Yeah.
They just won't know. They'll be like, "Oh, why would I do that when this is so much easier and more comfortable?"
And also I realized as well that like, when I was predominantly spending all my time online, it felt like I could never make any progress in my life because I was not investing anything in real life.
Right.
Maybe I'd go to work and I'd go home, but that was about it, right? I never made any investment elsewhere.
Right.
And I felt like my life stagnated because of that. Because I didn't, I think when you make friends IRL,
because you didn't seek out something else.
Right. Because when you make friends IRL, it's not just that. It's like you miss out on a lot of opportunities in general.
Yeah.
Like, because you're not putting yourself out there. You're not, maybe other jobs you might hear about. You miss out on a lot of things, I think.
Yeah.
And it's not just as simple as having friends and having friends. It's like there's a lot of stuff that comes with having IRL friends. I don't know. It's really made me think a lot recently, especially because like moving to Japan as well. It's really made me think a lot.
Yeah, because it's been a year, right, since you guys moved.
Yeah, it's been a goddamn year since we moved here. My God.
This
has not felt like a year at all. Jesus.
Yeah, 2020's been fucking weird, though, to be fair. But how was it for you guys? Your first year here in Japan? It's been, to be fair, it's probably, pretty abnormal year for people who moved around this time,
it's been a strange year all around.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've spent a proper year here in Japan. Mostly because I felt like part of the experience I was expecting from Japan was to have people visit me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I had a lot of friends who had planned to come visit us in Japan, and it just all
honestly
fell through.
that's half the fun of living in this country, right? It's like being like, oh man, I've always wanted to visit Japan, or like I'm coming to visit Japan, and you're just like, my boy, I got you, bro.
I wanted to be on the other side of that.
Yeah.
On the other side of that fence, because I've been on the visiting side, and I remember how amazing shit was when I first moved here, and everything was so bright eyed, and you could take me to a fucking Family Mart or a Konbini, and I'd be like, yo, you eat this like katsu curry every day? You eat this fried chicken?
Yo, they got sandwiches. What the fuck?
Just watching those interactions is like so fucking fun because to you now it's just so normal, but to them it's just so fucking alien.
Yeah.
Dude, I remembered like I was at the supermarket and I would just thought to myself, man, I remember when I used to think this shit was like insane.
Yeah.
And like now I feel like there's nowhere else left on earth where I'm ever gonna go and it's gonna feel magical. And I felt kind of sad for a second because
Japan is the final boss of countries.
Because I'd been hyping up Japan my whole like teenage to adult life.
Yeah.
It was the one place that I always really wanted to go because I went to America and it was amazing, right? I loved it because I'd always hyped up America to myself.
Yeah.
And then Japan was the last place that I hadn't been to that was like, I really want to go here because my parents took me to Europe all the time, and I was kind of sick of you. That sounds so fucking
Privileged.
I was sick and tired of traveling Europe. You know, I mean, my parents took me to like France every single year, and I was like dying.
That sounds like a fucking luxury, dude.
We were camping in like tents, and I just liked playing video games, and I couldn't play video games for 3 weeks, so it was basically being like forced to be a caveman for 3 weeks and like swim. I'm like, oh, okay, I swim every day, I guess. But I mean, it was basically the last place I wanted to go, and I remember the first time I landed here, even though I hadn't slept for like 20 hours, I was so fucking hyped. I was like, this is fucking insane. What? I can get a vending machine? What?
It's vending machines and they work?
I thought I would like, I remember when I like came here for the first time, I thought if I ever move here, I'm going to get vending machine coffee every fucking day because this shit is awesome. And now I can't fucking stand vending machine coffee.
Literally
Get that shit out of here. Just give me my Starbucks like I do everywhere else.
When you first come here, every vending machine, you're like, I guess I'm getting coffee. Yeah. It's hot coffee, baby. But yeah, now you have it. You're like, this is the worst.
Do you remember when first moving here and you like Nomi Hodai, which is all you can drink? Yeah. Like, was like,
God.
Fucking, it was like
to earth.
It was like a godsend. Like whenever we'd go here and we'd go to like the izakayas, and we thought we'd be going to like Kinokura every fucking day. You know?
It's like Nomi Hodai, not even a question. Of course,
Kinokura is essentially Wetherspoons. I think we've said that before, but it's very cheap, very cheap.
Yeah,
it's like $15 all you can drink for 2 hours. It's nuts.
Something like that.
Yeah, but then you realize, oh shit, I actually like my liver a little bit, and I don't want to fucking ruin it.
And I also like good food as well. And it's not got bad food, but you just get better.
It's very
food.
average food.
Yeah. You just get better food elsewhere. Because I remember like coming to Japan, like everything. I in my eyes, all food in Japan was amazing. Yeah. And then I lived here, and now you realize that it's all good, but there are different tiers of how good it can be. I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna wonder what it's like whenever I go back to England or something, where good food is just so much harder to find than it is here, where it's just readily available.
Man, I'm getting a pot noodle the moment I get back. Bombay Bad Boy pot noodle is
You should just like do the opposite. You should just fucking commit and just go to a Wetherspoons and just be like,
I love Wetherspoons food.
Well, then there you go. Let's see how it is. Let's see how it is.
I fuck with Wetherspoons food. Yeah. What I don't understand is Connor's fucking obsession with the Tesco
meal deals.
What is that?
You had one.
You had one
because I forced you to. So Tesco meal deals, right? It's a thing in the UK for £3, which is about maybe just under $4. You get a nice sandwich, a big bag of crisps, and like one of the premium drinks. You can get like a smoothie. You can get like an energy drink.
Did I have that?
Yeah, I took you because you got the big sandwich. It was quite big, and you get a big bag of crisps. You fucking loved it. I remember you were like, "Yo, all this for £3?" I was like, "Yeah, it's insane, right?"
I think I vaguely remember.
And I really like the sandwiches they make.
I remember I had the Wetherspoons that I had in some kind of train station, and I was like,
that was pretty bad. I took Joey to the Wetherspoons in Victoria Station. It was terrible.
Yeah,
it was
tragic. I don't think Wetherspoons is terrible. It
depends on the pub, though.
Yeah, it does. It does. But for the most part, Wetherspoons is like pretty decent for the price you get.
Yeah. I think the one there though was like, I think we were struggling to find a clean table.
Oh yeah, it was gross.
Like longer than actually deciding what to eat.
Yeah, it was gross.
Yeah,
because I remember when Joey was coming to visit, me and Connor were like discussing, what should we show him? And Connor was like, Tesco meal deal. I'm getting him a Tesco meal deal. I'm like, Connor, for fuck's sake, nobody gives a shit about your £3 Tesco meal deal. Okay,
right. I don't care if I become a billionaire. You bet I'm going to be eating McDonald's and fucking Tesco meal deals until the day I fucking die. That shit is value, and I won't hear otherwise. And it tastes amazing, okay? It tastes good.
I genuinely don't remember eating it. Like, I feel like, I don't know.
I'm hurt, Joey. I'm hurt.
Like after living in Japan and like living in Asia, where convenience stores just have, in my opinion, just good food to choose from.
I think the sandwiches in Tesco are better than Japan.
I mean, sandwiches have like mayonnaise and like ketchup and all that shit in it. I don't need that shit.
Okay, you're out of the question.
Where does all the crust go in Japan? Where is it? Where's all the crust gone?
I don't know. Probably
for some reason all the sandwiches don't have crusts on them. Where is it? Give me my fucking crust. I love the crust on sandwiches.
I think though sometimes
that's the reason I like Japanese sandwiches.
You're like a 12-year-old kid. Like you can't have mayo. You can't eat the fucking crust on your. This man doesn't like.
It's still bread.
Yeah, man. What's the problem? It tastes good.
Yeah.
It's just wasted bread that's like tasteless.
Wasted bread. It
tastes like bread.
Yo, it's the flavor, dude. It's the best part of the bread.
What's so good? It tastes like cardboard.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
does.
Yeah.
It tastes exactly like the bread that it's attached to.
It's like the crust on pizza, okay?
Yeah,
Why does crust on pizza exist, and why does everyone pretend that
tastes good?
It tastes good.
No, it doesn't. You eat the pizza for the fucking bread, cheese,
You're a
and
12-year-old
tomato
kid. You're
sauce
literally a 12-year-old
combination.
kid.
Why would I want to eat pizza? Why would I just want to eat the bread part of the pizza? Where when I have pizza, I want the pizza part of the pizza.
Okay,
Because, right?
that's because you're eating it wrong.
Yeah,
right.
You're going right up to the crust.
Yeah.
And you got to save a little bit of the sauce and cheese,
and then go on the side.
No.
People think I'm a fucking psychopath when I eat pizza the way I actually eat pizza at home, which is crust first. I eat the crust first because I get that tasteless shit out of the way. So I'm only left.
Then how do you hold the pizza?
I just hold it like
What the fuck are you doing, bro?
You're holding it like L, dude. Like you just fucking
look. I just saved the best part till last. Why would I save the tasteless part till last? I don't enjoy eating the crust.
You're making it tasteless by only eating the crust.
Yeah, you need to combo it, dude.
No. If you save a little bit of the sauce, that sauce could be with the actual pizza. You know what I mean?
But the pizza has plenty of sauce.
Look, it's like eating the fucking. It's like when you're having a nice fucking meal and you eat your broccoli and vegetables first, and you have like your chicken or your steak afterwards. You save the best part till last.
Do you always eat everything separate?
Not always. If it like synergizes perfectly, if it
like you would know, like you would fucking know, Mr. Hamburger
synergizes with the pizza.
No, it doesn't. The crust just takes the pizza taste out.
I got fucking Italian hand on this bitch. Like it synergizes.
No, because when you get those shitty frozen pizzas, right, that are like $1 a pound, right? They're the ones with no crust. You know those fucking fake deep dish pizzas that are just all bread and like the thinnest layer.
Fucking horrible.
That's like his fucking dream. It must
No,
be.
my fucking dream is like proper thin crust Italian pizzas where like the pizza goes right up to the crust, and it's because it's so thin, it doesn't get in the way of the actual pizza itself. It doesn't get in the way of the slice. Sorry?
You got to grip on something.
I don't give a shit about greasy fucking hands if the pizza tastes better. That's just optimizing the pizza. There is so much wasted space on pizza that it's like the crust gets in the way of the pizza taste.
Well, then, okay, why don't you do this then? When you get the pizza next time, right, and there's a thick crust, just fold that bitch in half.
Yeah.
No, because that means.
I feel like you're making a problem out of this. That doesn't
No.
Just roll up the pizza so that it's all in one thing, and then just.
I just assume, right? Whenever I see anyone who leaves the crusts on a sandwich or leaves the crusts on a pizza, I'm like, your parents clearly didn't like beat it into you to eat that shit, dude.
Dude, if I left crust on bread, my mum would beat my ass.
She'd murder me.
She'd be like, "Why are you wasting food?" And I'll be like,
I got away with a lot of shit, but leaving food was not one of them.
Yeah.
No, that's why if I have to eat pizza, I eat it crust first. Like when
he's just there.
You make it sound like a fucking torture, man. It's like
it is torture for me because you're ruining this good fucking food with just tasteless bread.
There is only one time where it's acceptable to leave the crusts on a pizza, and that is a buffet of pizza where it's like I got to optimize this shit. I don't want none of this shit because it's always shit.
But if you just have Domino's, then you have to eat the crust.
And also, in like crust just takes extra room. It's just extra room in your stomach that can be filled with nice, tasty pizza. I don't want to get filled up with like tasteless crust.
How small is your fucking stomach?
I want that fucking pizza. Okay?
How small is your stomach?
Oh
yes, this tiny bit of crust here is.
I know I'm right.
I think
I am not the crazy one here.
How do we get on pizza?
I've been quiet about this for too long. Crustless gang, where you at? Where you at, crustless gang?
Crustless
All
gang.
the 10-year-olds raise their hand. Point is, where is the crust, Japan? I don't like it. They take it from me because sometimes I think the best part of the sandwich is like the give that the crust adds to it. Right? You gotta bite it a little. You gotta tug it a little bit. Sometimes it just crumbles apart without the crust. It's like the integrity of this sandwich has been ruined.
It's been optimized.
It has not been optimized.
You cut off all the useless pieces.
Although, I will say, sometimes 7-Eleven is by far the guiltiest of this. You'll get a sandwich from 7-Eleven, right? And they'll show you the sandwich. It looks like fucking packed in the front. Dude.
Yeah.
This thing is just like quadruple ham slices, right? You open up this sandwich thing, you get it out, you're like, oh my God, it's thick. And then as you realize, you grab it in your hand, you're like, huh, it's pretty thin. Pretty thin near the end. You peel it up and there's no ham.
Yeah.
At the other half of the sandwich, and you're like, I've been fucking played.
You got fucking clickbaited by sandwiches.
Yeah. And then you have to like weirdly like curl the bread up so you can get like an even bite of bread. It's fucking 7-Eleven. Can you fucking sort that shit out? Everyone says their food is the best, but it's honestly the worst one out of the. I don't know. Family Mart is okay.
Family Mart's the worst.
No, I have to stand with Family Mart.
Oh my god, no! I'm a 7-Eleven simp, man.
You're a Lawson simp, right?
Yeah, I love Lawson simp. We'll do the combini. We'll save for the
Dude, we're gonna leave this for the combini tournament arc, okay?
We'll do it. We need to just ask a combini.
There are 3 genders.
Change my mind. Oh my god.
No, it's like the difference between fucking Tesco's, Sainsbury's, and Co-op, right? You know.
I don't know, but I'll just agree with you in that case.
But what do they have in fucking Australia?
What, in terms of convenience stores?
Yeah.
Cardboard, just probably.
Yeah, no one goes to a convenience store in Australia. It's all just supermarkets. It's like
Botlos, as they say.
No, that's a liquor store.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
that is your lunch.
Yeah, I don't want to buy food from a liquor store.
I will say, probably the thing that I very quickly got adjusted to that I think that will hit me like whiplash when I return is deliveries here.
Oh,
because
speaking of optimized,
you get so used to it here because what happens is, have we spoke about this on the podcast before? Don't we have?
I don't think so.
So when you get a delivery in like, I guess any other country, it's like, we'll arrive between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. And you just got to be home on a Tuesday, hope you listen out, you know, and then you fucking miss it. And
they didn't single knock on the door.
and they didn't knock on the door. They say that they were there and it's like bullshit. No, you didn't. And then it's this whole fucking pain. And then you got to try and reschedule like, oh, will you come back in 4 days? And it's like, are you kidding me? I pre-ordered this game. I wanted it today. But in Japan, when you miss a package, not only can you reschedule on that day within a 2-hour time slot. So if you miss it between like 8 and 12 a.m., which is the only 4-hour time slot, you can get it redelivered between 12 and 2. 4 and 6, 6 and 8, 9 to
basically same day delivery.
Literally the whole day, and you can pick the 2-hour slot. It's nuts.
Yeah.
And on Amazon, when you do it, you can also pick the 2-hour time slot. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's so insane, and it works.
I mean, there are also like what is it? Where the UK and some places have like in London have like Amazon Now or something like that.
Yeah, we do.
That's
have
insane.
That.
That's insane to me.
I think I spoke about that in the podcast before because I ordered like Mario Party and shit.
Oh
like,
It's when it arrives literally a few hours after you order it.
Why don't we have that, man?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Japan gets it at some point.
Yeah. I mean, I would love that because I didn't know.
I would never leave my house if that was the case. I just fucking get it.
Well,
out.
it was made for groceries mainly. It just happened to have like product
which is weird. Like, because I was thinking back to our podcast last week with Alexion, and I remember thinking to myself, man, how would I have survived in Japan and got set up if Amazon didn't exist like he did, like when he first moved here? And I'm just thinking, man, so much of my life has revolved around Amazon in Japan that if I didn't have it, I would be like. Life would be 10 times harder.
It does become, when something isn't on Amazon, I've noticed it becomes about 10 times more difficult to get the thing that I want and delivered the day
because you have to look it up and being like, all right, where's the closest store? And then you have to find out when the store's open. And then you have to go in and fucking look for it. It's just
it's a mess.
Gross.
But I also feel kind of sad because I feel that because everything is so easy, you know, and I got comments that were like, I can't believe Connor complains about not knowing Japanese and living in Japan, right? Not complaining. I'm just fucking British and I'm just complaining about the things that I complain about. I know it's my fault for not knowing Japanese.
He's British.
I'm not a fucking idiot. I know that it's probably not a good idea to not speak Japanese living in Japan, right? But a lot of people do come here to learn, right? And I do think that if I was forced to, you know, say 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I think that I would have been forced to learn a lot more.
Oh, yeah,
because
absolutely.
I would have no choice.
All right.
Right? Right now, I don't need to do anything. Google Maps tells me where to go. Google Maps tells me the restaurants. I can Google Translate every web page.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty much all sorted.
It's catering more towards foreigners, definitely.
Yeah. It also doesn't help that this is basically a society that has optimized like getting the least amount of human interaction possible. Sure. You go to a restaurant, you have a tablet, and you order your stuff. You know, so most of the time you don't even need to talk to anyone. You know what I mean?
Which is why I get. You must get this a lot, right? Do you get comments asking you like, "How's your Japanese coming along? How's your Japanese coming along?"
Yeah, Gon, how is it coming along?
It is.
Is it Jozu?
It is. I've already gotten Jozu a few times.
It's difficult, right? Because it's hard to explain. because essentially, I think people have a misconception of how much we interact with Japanese people.
Yeah.
I talk to a Japanese person and I'm forced to speak Japanese at most often at the kombini or at the like Denny's or whatever, like at a restaurant or a store. Those are the 3 most common times. And there's a script. Like I know exactly what they're going to say.
Yeah.
And because they always say the same things.
I know exactly what you mean because we were getting coffee, like I think it was last week or something at the Bookwalk offices, and we kind of ordered the coffee, and he almost sounded like fucking fluent with like all the responses he was making, and he was just like, I know how it is where you've ordered something enough times that you just know the questions you get asked.
I've perfectly optimized ordering coffee.
It's like it's like when you watch a movie and you see the line before the actor says the line. You know, it's like I know what you're gonna say.
And I know where if that script is like varied, like in the slightest, you just go like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing anymore.
Because what happens is I'll be ordering coffee, right? And here's the order every single time. You go in there, you say what you want. They'll ask you, do you want it to stay or to go? So you say to go. And then I'll ask you, do you want a bag? You say, no, you don't want a bag. And then you just say how you want to pay. So you can just say that, right? And it's always how it is. And every time it goes wrong, and if Joey's with me, I'll just slowly turn to Joey and be like,
There's only 2 times I've seen a slow head turn. That's in a horror movie and when I'm with you guys and it's out of the script. It's just a very slow like.
I don't want to go. Yeah, I don't want to go. Joey, help! I just want to be like, Dozo, Joey.
I'll leave it.
It's actually funny when you're not there because when it's there have been times when it's just me and Connor and we're at like a restaurant ordering something and then we get something off script and it's both of us trying to cumulatively figure out which one of us knows like as much Japanese as each other. Like we're trying to like combine our Japanese knowledge to be like, okay, you know this word, I know that word, so let's try and figure out what we're saying.
Let's combine these 2 words together. That's the thing though. Like that's like I'm such a fucking sadist, but like that's the one thing I fucking love when friends who can't speak Japanese, I'm hanging out with,
asshole,
and we go to like a restaurant or something, or we go out somewhere or go traveling somewhere. Is that because I don't look Japanese, people don't expect me to know Japanese.
Yeah.
So I love every now and then going to a restaurant with like a bunch of non-Japanese friends and pretending I can't speak a word of Japanese and just letting them be. I'm like, Nihongo wa karanai, and it's just like, fuck you, Joey.
So yeah, outside of those situations, we pretty much don't really speak to Japanese people.
Yeah. Although to be fair, you've been recently fucking interacting with like Japanese people in Apex, right?
Well, so I thought to myself, right, I'm taking these Japanese classes 2 times a week. Problem is I'm not really doing much outside of that, and people will be like, oh, why don't you study more? I mean, the work schedule that we have is already pretty fucking
and
hectic.
there's only so much studying before you have to actually use it in practice, right?
I think like no matter how much studying I do, if I'm not using it, like practically, it's not going to help.
Yeah, it's no point.
So I just decided, fuck it. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna stream talking to Japanese people on Apex, just trying to make friends. Managed to make some friends pretty fucking fast.
Yeah.
Even though most people do not want to talk.
I mean, I was tuning into one of your streams, and you were like interacting quite well.
Yeah, I can speak super basic, and
but they were getting it.
Yeah. They can normally understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And the best thing is that if I don't know something, I'm like, chat, what is this word? How do I say this thing? And then they tell me, and then I don't forget it because I'm using it like immediately over and over. And so that's been really helpful. And if you want to go and watch those, you can watch them on the highlights, whatever they're doing. But yeah, that's been super helpful. But outside of that, like we don't fucking use it. Like
I mean, I can talk to you guys in Japanese.
But it's okay, Joey. It's different because
it's different, Joey. It's
you know how bad we are, and it's embarrassing, right?
No, okay. You have to throw that aside because. Like
I am fine doing it in front of 2,000 people live.
Yeah.
But not in front of me?
No, not in front of me. Because
I'm not going to judge you.
We know that's not the point. We judge ourselves when we're with you. It's like a subconscious thing where I'm just like,
I don't want you to be disappointed in me, Joey. That's
I'm not going to be disappointed.
I want to just impress you, man. I want to impress you, okay? I just want to get Nihongo Josu by you, man, okay? But I know how Josu your Japanese is, man. I can't reach that level right now, man.
You're like trying to impress your dad. It's like, come on, man. This is the only time I'm going to get my dad's love.
Because I don't know what it is about talking to a Japanese person. I even though it's even more awkward because if they don't understand me, we're fucked.
Yeah.
But it's less awkward because they inherently expect me to be fucking awful.
Yeah.
So it's like when I do good, it's like, oh, awesome. Like it's good. But
so then why don't you just put that on me?
Because you can probably figure out what I'm trying to say and you can be like, are you trying to say this, Connor? And I'll be like,
But I can also just pretend to be like,
I guess maybe.
Wakaranai, you know, like.
But the point is, in general, we don't really get to talk to as many Japanese people as I think people expect us to.
Yeah.
Right.
The sponsor of today's video is EJ Anime Store. Kadokawa's official online anime merch store caters directly towards overseas anime fans, delivering the newest and most exclusive merch of all your favorite shows directly from Japan.
Damn, that was some fucking like Eminem shit.
Did I just like hit the like 1.5 speed on YouTube or something?
Did you know many of the products are only available on purchasing Jersey Limited?
Look at all these awesome things you can buy from EJ Anime Store.
Yes. Many of their products are only available for purchase during a limited time reservation period, so be sure to check the pre-order deadline shown on screen.
I feel sorry for anyone watching at times 2 speed.
Today's lineup, we're gone.
First of all, we have the Haruhi Suzumiya woodblock prints.
I'm very scared to touch this.
Oh my god!
This is limited quantities, by the way, limited numbers,
and there is a name for this. I'm gonna attempt to pronounce.
It's like a Welsh town.
That's what I thought. It's a Welsh town.
I want to hear.
Look at this on screen. Okay, let's try to pronounce this. 15498K.
Yeah, that was
it. That's perfect.
Yeah, because it's numbers, right? It's just 15498K.
I forget that Japanese words don't have spaces. You know?
Exactly. Celebrating the 15th and 10th anniversary of its TV and theatrical anime release, respectively, EJ Anime Store brings you this exclusive commemorative ukiyo woodblock print, which is only available through reservation until December the 25th, 2020. So get in quick.
That's hard. That's hard.
I genuinely want that.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, not gonna lie. I fucking love Haruhi.
They also have the Misfit of Demon King Academy Misha Necron swimsuit version.
I love swimsuit versions of this.
From the aforementioned summer 2020 TV anime series titled, oh god.
You want to try and pronounce that?
No Fute Kigosha.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Hell yeah. EG Anime Store brings you a figure of the heroine Misha Necron in a cute swimsuit. This special set includes this wall scroll, which you can now, okay.
Okay.
B2 tapestry.
Okay.
Very nice.
That's actually very nice feeling, dude.
Yeah.
That's like the pillow you wish you had, like it was made.
It's like the hotel pillow quality, right?
Yeah.
And don't forget the Uzaki-chan wants to... Connor's breaking our items on camera, but the Uzaki-chan wants to hang out Hana Uzaki light novel Cafe Asia version. And this one has the extra culture in it. You can tell. Look at this. Look at these breasts right here.
The little detail right here.
The little slit right there, right? They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
But we also have the Strike Witches, Yoshika Miyafuji World Witches Music Festa 2019 version as well, which has one of the largest fucking backgrounds that I've ever seen on a figurine.
Yeah, your desk's going to be crying.
Yeah, you need a lot of space on your shelf for this one, but it looks neat.
I'm going to pretend to have an opinion on Strike Witches. Never mind.
I don't know what that is.
I know what it is, and I don't have an opinion on it. But you can get it through EJ Anime Store.
Be sure to go check out these items out at ejanimestore.com before they become unavailable. Link available in the description below. They have recently been adding a variety of collectibles such as body pillows and clothing to their collection, so be sure to stay tuned for updates.
What is this, Tatami Galaxy?
Back to the video.
That was you could understand everything, right? Yeah. Did you think you were gonna talk more Japanese, like be forced to when you moved here?
Yeah, I thought I did.
He said that with such remorse, like
because it's weird, right? Because I think everyone in my life expected me to, as did I.
Yeah,
but what ends up happening is that I realized, okay, I work from home. I go to a language school where all the staff speak English. All my friends speak English. Oh no. I stream. I speak in English. I go to the gym. I don't talk because who the fuck am I going to talk to unless that Hulk guy talks to me?
Yeah.
I don't know if
massive chat.
If I've told that story, I think I have, right? So there's actually like pretty much no time where I end up
to be fair, I'm kind of the same as well. Like,
right. Well, how often do you speak Japanese people outside of business? Right.
Yeah. I mean, because of COVID, I haven't been able to see my family like at all.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and that as well has made it even worse because strangers don't want to fucking talk to foreigners.
Exactly. I mean, like our neighbor next to us is like really fucking cool old couple, and like every time I see them, like I'll talk to them in Japanese. But I always get so nervous because the moment I start talking to them, I can hear it in my inflection that like, oh no, I'm fucking like losing touch on this shit. Like, I haven't been speaking it enough because I haven't been speaking enough because the only time I'll ever speak to is like with my mom, like an occasional Skype call or fucking, you know.
It's weird, right? You live in Japan and your like you're losing.
Yeah, I'm losing it.
Yeah.
So I have to, like consciously fucking keep, figuring out ways of like, okay, how can I use this language? Because if there's one thing I don't want to lose, it's my Japanese.
Yeah, of course. And here's the thing about languages is that if you don't use it, it'll get rusty. And that's true with like my Thai as well.
Yeah.
Now that I'm like now that I'm living out of Thailand, I'm just like, there's sometimes I'm trying to remember a Thai word when I'm speaking to my mum, and sometimes I get like the Japanese word instead because that's something I've been like studying more recently. It's really, and it's weird to think how little I can how little I can use Japanese and also live here. You know what I mean? Because you kind of subconsciously find a way to make it easy for yourself.
Not gonna lie, one thing I have been starting to do recently is like every time I read manga or a novel, a Japanese novel or something, I read it out loud. Just because if I read it in my head, like of course I'm gonna understand it.
No.
But it's completely different. Like reading and speaking skills is completely different.
Yeah.
So I've like just kind of very quietly read it to myself.
Yeah.
Just to remember, like, okay, that's how you pronounce that word.
Yeah. It's like that for me, like reading Welsh. It's like getting confusing now because I haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, you've seen the Welsh language, right? It's a fucking jumble of sounds. It's like, all right, fuck off.
That's why I don't understand, people who know like fucking 8 languages.
Some people just have it, man.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. A capacity, right? Like, I don't think inherently I would ever learn more than one language because I'm lazy as fuck. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the thing
but
is,
the fact of trying to pick up a third is fuck. My brain is like, Connor, we're really going to our limit here, man. We're really pushing it.
But I don't think learning languages is hard per se. I think it's just like, okay, if we just all quit YouTube tomorrow for like for like a year and just focused all our time on actually learning this language, I feel we'd make like so much progress. But what's hard about it is trying to learn a language and fit it within our already current lifestyle where we're already busy as fuck. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the real problem because it's like I'm trying to find time where time doesn't fucking exist nowadays. Where like it takes a lot of fucking time and dedication to learn a language.
And it's a long line between being able to speak a language conversationally and being fluent in the language.
The only time I've actually gotten like able to get proper Japanese practice is when we're fucking out on the lash or something. We're at a random bar and there's like we're fucking pissed out of our heads and there's just a random Japanese bloke who's as pissed as us. That's pretty much been like the best language practice I've gotten since I've moved here.
Honestly, that probably is the best way to do it because if you're like a little intoxicated, then you're going to be less nervous.
Dude,
about
I swear to God,
out.
I speak any languages like 10% better when I'm drunk, except
English.
Except English.
It's
so
weird.
true. Fuck, man.
But I mean, like languages, from what I've learned, is like learning a language and learning music or like an instrument is the exact same part of the brain. And and they say like it's the exact same with an instrument or language, but the second one is always going to be the most difficult. And then from the third onwards, it just gets easier and easier and easier. And I guess for all three of us, the advantage is that we already know 2 languages quite fluently. So that's why, you guys are learning a third, right? So it just puts pressure on me. I'm like, maybe I should learn a third language as well.
I mean, it's weird because I don't feel like I ever learned 2 languages. This is the first time I felt like I've actively learn something rather than just like, hey, I just knew this as a kid. I didn't really have to think about it.
Because you don't think about it in your head when you speak Thai.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's just like it is very much like learning an instrument. It's just a lot of it is like muscle memory.
It is
your
pure
mouth.
muscle memory. I do not remember how I learned it. I don't remember learning it. I just know that I've always been able to understand it and speak it.
That's why I hate it when people ask me like Japanese language questions. I'm like, I don't fucking know how.
Yeah.
And it's also like when you learn a language natively, I think you learn it wrong. You learn it locally and in a native way.
Yeah.
Right? When some people would ask me questions about Welsh, and I'd be like, I don't fucking know. Like I just knew from speaking it. I don't know any of the rules. I couldn't do half of them correctly.
Right. That's why they say like the best way to learn any language is to live in the country that speaks it.
Right. I don't know. And I think I get a lot of questions about like, oh wait, which language does Connor speak? Well, it's because like I don't really get much use out of Welsh. So I don't really show it off much.
Right.
Unfortunately, because it's only spoken in Wales and one part of like South America. There's like one small place in somewhere in South America where they speak Welsh, like a town.
Really?
Weird. Yeah, a bunch of like Welsh settlers went there and were like, fuck it, let's just make a town.
Let's just chill here.
Let's just do it. It's a shame because it's such a nice language. It sounds beautiful.
I fucking love the Welsh language, man.
And
it's so cool.
It's always fun hearing people pronounce the names of the towns.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that BuzzFeed video where they try and pronounce like all the Welsh names and it's fucking horrible?
They sound as cool as they look as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because like my dad can't speak Welsh, my mum can speak Welsh.
Right.
So my dad fucking butchers the names, and I always just correct him. So I just find I just want to be an ass. I'm like,
oh yeah, I do that to my dad with Japanese as well. Like I fucking love doing it.
It's the same situation.
Yeah, it's like, shut up, son.
Going back to the whole like trying to fit it around your lifestyle, there is such a big part of me that's like, fuck, man, I wish I could just take a year off YouTube and like do it,
like perfect a skill.
I'd get like just do Japanese class 5 days a week.
Yeah, I've like felt that definitely recently, where like my entire life has just revolved around YouTube for like the past 4 or 5 years, and then I kind of realized this last year, especially, it was just like, hey, there are other things I can do in my life other than YouTube, and learning Japanese is definitely one of them. But I really only have time to do one without making like substantial progress on the other, or just like making almost zero progress.
I mean, this COVID situation definitely hasn't helped, considering that's really limited where we can go, right? Because I feel travel as well, even if you're traveling with like a bunch of like English speaking people in Japan, you just you can put yourself into situations where you have to interact with the locals, right? Just travel is such a nice way of just meeting people and like getting to use the language as much as possible, because like I feel there's less stress using a language you're trying to learn while you're traveling, because at the end of the day, you're never going to meet this person again.
I would have no qualms about like butchering Japanese to an old lady.
And yet you get fucking nervous as shit trying to use Japanese at your local kombini, right? Because it's like, I'm going to see you again probably tomorrow, same time.
Oh my God.
And I don't want to be remembered as that gaijin who can't speak Japanese, right?
As much as there's a part of me that wants to do that, I'm like, at the same time, I feel like I'm enjoying YouTube now more than ever.
Oh yeah,
I'm enjoying everything about it. And it's going so well that it would make no sense to like stop doing it. Right? Like, because, taking a year off YouTube, although I could probably come back from it. I probably could. Yeah. But is it worth the risk? Like, no, probably not. I can always learn Japanese later on in life, which sucks that I wouldn't have it now, and I would rather have it now. But I can always
why not mix the two worlds together?
I feel
like. What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Like make some kind of YouTube content about you learning Japanese.
I considered that, but I thought that'd be such a big undertaking, and I've seen language channels, and they had like drama because they would like not end up learning the language. No joke. Like there was this video where a guy made like an apology video.
It's like technical drama.
So like because when those videos went around where it was like, dude speaks 15 languages on VR chat. You're like, well, that's just absurd. But then I started watching a lot of those videos, and I found like people who were like, their whole channel was about them starting from zero and then learning the language. And there was like drama with this one guy because he was learning 2 languages at once.
Right.
I think it was like, I can't remember. It was very different languages as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And about halfway through, like a year in, he's like, you know what? I'm quitting Swedish. I realized that it's just hampering my progress trying to learn 2 languages at once.
Right.
And all the comments were like, what the fuck, man? I can't believe this.
I believed in you.
Like, your Swedish was so good, man. Why'd you like? And I was like, whoa.
Oh my God. Anything can be drama now.
And I just thought like, if anything, it would be a thing where I would be like, okay, let's see how much I can learn in 3 months doing X a week, right?
Yeah.
And then I would not announce it, not make it a series, just here we go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it also is a lot of pressure that is like, okay, I got to worry about making other videos and also actually learning Japanese.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this video is going to be a little awkward if it's like 3 months in, I learned nothing. Fuck.
But that would be funny, right? Like, that'd be like a funny conclusion to the video as
would
well.
it though?
I think so. Isn't it like
I just wasted 3 months of my life and learned nothing.
You did it for good content, though.
Wasted 30 minutes of your life watching this video.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Fuck, dude.
Because I had this video idea where it's like, because I've always wanted to like improve more on my Japanese as well. So I'm like, I can't just like commit like outside of YouTube or like outside of what I do and all these side projects I do, because I'm just way too busy now, which sucks because I really do want to like, hone in on my Japanese a lot more. So I thought about like, there's like the kanji proficiency test.
Yeah.
And I got like the 3rd highest on that, but like that was back in like high school. But I'm like, I wonder if I can like go for the highest one.
And how many kanjis do you need to know?
For the highest one?
Yeah.
I believe it's 3,000, and I think only 0.4% of the population has it. Yeah, it's very like prestigious.
Yeah.
But I thought like, what if I did a video where
Is there a kanji for cultural cross pollination?
I guarantee there is. Yeah.
Make one. You can
There's a kanji for everything, man. Don't worry. But I thought to myself like, I wonder if I did a video where I just like dedicated like a year to just document myself like learning that and trying to attempt for the test.
But isn't that scary though? Because what if you don't make any progress like 6 months in?
That's the only thing that stopped
and
me.
it's like, fuck.
And it's also like in order for this video to be successful, I gotta fucking grind this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I do this and then the video flops, then that's just like, cool. I wasted a year of my life for a flopped video and a test that I failed in.
I think unlike the actual Japanese language, I think you actually can like gamify and speedrun kanji. Like I think kanji is speedrunnable.
I don't know, man.
Dude, it is. Dude, it totally is.
Explain.
Because you can, there's like apps that will like fucking whip you if you get it wrong, right? So I speed learned like 100 kanji in like a day by doing that. And I know all of them now. I can use them.
But if I sat you down and told you to write it out, could you?
Write it out? Some of them.
Right.
But
that's
read them. Yeah, but I mean Japanese people who
read
can't-
them. Read them. Would
Yeah,
you be
yeah,
able to read
yeah.
100 kanji if I showed you?
100%.
Really?
100%.
Okay, now I'm tempted.
Challenge
Yeah,
accepted.
I'm tempted to
We'll do a
this.
live stream. We'll both stream.
Yeah,
You could fucking do
and
it.
I'll fucking do a kanji test on you.
The basic kanji,
The 100 kanji you know. I'll do a test.
100%. We'll do it.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
Because
Sounds like a video idea.
Because right, you can gamify it, like and you can start picking up patterns, and I feel like the way that you can, I don't know, like at least when I was learning kanji, I could easily pick up kanji, like I guess, because especially living in Japan, right? Because it wasn't like living in the UK, sorry, where you learn this kanji, you would leave your house, you wouldn't see it.
Yeah.
When you leave your house in Japan, even if you didn't talk to anyone, you see the kanjis everywhere.
Yeah.
So you could keep practicing because you keep seeing them like, oh, I know that. Oh, I know that.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
you do that after like every like trash taste session. Where,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
we'd be
yeah.
catching the train, you'd be like, what does that sign say? I've seen that one before.
Yeah. So once
But I feel like that's the way you got to do it, right?
Right.
Because that's how a kid learns.
Yeah.
Just like
Plow through,
inquisitively.
gotta
Yeah.
Problem is where it starts getting into like there's 4 kanjis with 4 different the same kanji with like 10 different pronunciations, and it's like oh this
Which is like 30% of all kanji.
I love the ones with like 2. I'm like nice. Question for you boys, because we've been living here for a year now. How long do you think you're gonna be staying here for?
Well, that's the question I want to ask you too.
What's my 5-year plan?
Because Chris Broad was a fucking liar.
Yeah.
Chris Broad said he was only going to live here for like 5 years, and he's still here.
He's been
Yeah.
here
What a
for,
fucking
he's been here
liar.
for 8 years, I think. Something like that.
fucking liar.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
approaching my 5th year.
I mean, time just moves fucking fast. It doesn't even feel like I've been here a year. I thought, I'll live here for like 2 years max. I'm halfway through. I'm just like, I've hardly even spent any time here.
Yeah,
I feel
right.
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I always thought to myself, I thought about it. I was like, oh my God, I've been here for almost 5 years. Like,
you old.
like moved out of my parents and like actually lived in Japan on my own. I was like, it does not feel like 5 years. Which is why the question of like, what do you see yourself doing in 5 years is starting to sound less and less absurd to me.
Yeah.
Because back, when I was in my teenage years and people were like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
well,
like
you do-
5 years is so far away.
You'd be doing something fucking different every year.
Yeah.
Back at that age.
Yeah.
But now it just feels like it's you can have
Same
like
shit,
a
different.
routine and monotonous.
now we just sound old, man.
I mean,
Well,
we
yeah.
are, man. We are.
Depending on how long, well, a big fucking question mark, obviously, is how long will Geeks Plus allow us to be here? Because
Maylin.
Yeah, Maylin. I'm calling you out right now.
How long?
So I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say this louder. So it all depends on how long Geeks Plus will be around, because our visa depends on Geeks Plus. So
Depends on Trash Cave.
This is why we take so many fucking sponsors, by the way, so we can give Geeks Plus money
so
they'll
that we
keep
can
fucking giving us
satiate our fucking like lords.
overlords, dude. They're like, how many sponsors can we fit? 10 an episode? Say no more,
Doable.
man. I mean,
Okay, but I mean, like,
Okay.
like the question though, I think, and this is kind of goes back to the root of it all. Having been here for a year, are you guys enjoying it?
yeah.
yeah, I think I flip-flop a lot in the first 6 months. The first 6 months, I was like, I would have 1 week where I'm like, I hate it. I plan to go back in 2 months.
Yeah.
Obviously not. But
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's some weeks where I think especially where I said this in my video about because I made a video about 1 year living in Japan.
Yeah.
I think the big point I tried to mention was like, you have to force yourself to like actively go out your way to make friends here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It is not a country where friends just come along. You don't
Yeah.
just bump into people and you're like, let's hang out. It's like you have to go out of your way to do the whole like, when are you free? What's your calendar like? Let's make this solid, not a bullshit thing. Let's do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to see anyone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Except
Yeah.
for you guys, right?
Yeah.
And like having this podcast has really helped because before it was like, okay, we might hang out every day.
Yeah.
But then we also might not see each other for like a week and a half.
Yeah.
And then I realized I haven't left the house in 4 days. Fuck, I'm starting to feel lonely. And I live alone, and I've never lived like alone. Like
Because you've always had a roommate. Or
Roommate.
something,
I've always had a
right?
roommate or something, and I didn't realize like how much I like relied on that to like kind of keep me a little bit sane.
Yeah.
Because sometimes my fucking roommate, Zeno, I love you, but yeah, you would drive me up the wall, right? But that's also not like her fault. It was like just a thing of like,
That comes with just having a roommate.
eventually you live with someone long enough, you're like, I fucking hate just the little thing that you do, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
And I thought I can live alone, and then I like 1 week into living alone, I'm like, fuck, it's quiet in here, hey,
Oh
Jesus.
yeah,
Like,
dude, I was so fucking depressed when I started living alone here.
Right.
Like before, like Arky moved in with me, I was like, "Fuck, man, I've been out of the house in 2 weeks. I'm so fucking lonely right now."
God,
and
man.
like,
am I the only true introvert here?
I mean, look, I like my time alone. Don't get
Yeah,
me
yeah,
wrong,
yeah.
right? Like, I like my time alone, but there's only so much time I like alone before
Yeah.
I'm like, I require the touch of a human skin.
Oh no,
That is not mine.
I'm the same because I remember before I moved to Japan, I basically lived alone for like 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Because Sydney was in America at the time,
Yeah.
and we were sorting out our visa stuff for Japan. So
Yeah.
there was just like a fair few month period where my only social life would be when we'd be able to like hang out in London. And I don't know if it's just because I've been in a relationship for like 4 years. It was just like it was just like nice having like just living alone. And just seeing friends and seeing people when I wanted to. Because I guess the big difference between Japan and when I was living in England is that I could see someone whenever I wanted to in England, if I really wanted to.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? There
yeah,
was,
you could just message me and be like, let's hang out. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
fuck it.
exactly. I feel like if it was the case of I don't know when I'm going to see someone next, then I would be way more lonely.
Well, that's why I'm like constantly just like filling in plans like ahead of
Yeah,
time. Just
yeah,
being
I-
like, yo, you want to hang out? You want to hang out? You want to hang out? Like, otherwise, you're going to find yourself in this kind of like dead space of just no interaction whatsoever.
Yeah, because like when I first moved here and I didn't really have anything in my house, and I was just going on Tinder dates just because I was lonely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't like. It sounds so sad, but when
I
I
mean,
didn't.
people do that, man.
I mean, and when I didn't have, anything to do, I would just go to your house. But then I felt bad, because I didn't want to go to their house every day and be like, "Hey
that's
guys," I know you didn't mind, but I also didn't like. I felt like I was intruding,
Right.
So, and it was just sad, and it took me a while to get used to it and getting used to being alone.
So is this
fuck, that sounds so sad. That's fucking everyone laughed. No, I mean, living alone. Sorry,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
being
yeah.
alone.
I just have to get used to just being, in my solitude, just
No.
crying.
No,
wanking.
I figured it out now. I figured how to have a healthy balance of everything. But it took me a while because I wasn't used to it. Right, I always had someone in my house that I could always be like, "Yo, you want to watch TV?" So it took
So
a
is
while.
this your subtle way of asking us to come to your house more?
no,
Please.
no.
So like okay, so we're going back to our like original fucking topic of this video of like online friends and everything. When did you guys realize that online friends just wasn't enough? It couldn't fill that hole that having real physical friends that you can see like
I think after I had like a really healthy friend group, I think like
Like
after you-
IRL friend group?
yeah.
Yeah, after you have like an actually good IRL friend group that like you would rather hang out with more than like anyone. I feel like there's no going back.
Yeah,
Like, 'cause-
I feel that as well because I found like my first proper true friend group like at the age of like 23, 24. That's when it kind of started, and I remember. Like my mum had like fucked up my entire perception because my mum had raised me for like 18 years to be like, don't give a shit about your high school friends. Your real friends for life, your actual real friends will come in university. So I go to university and I'm just there with my housemates, my course mates. And I'm just looking around. And I'm just like, I hate everyone around me.
So like Mike Wazowski's just like, where are the friends?
Yeah, it's just like, where are the friends? Mum, why would you lie to me, Mum? Why would you lie to me?
Yeah.
I'm not in contact with like anyone from like my university days. Like some more so in my high school days, where university was just like a fucking cesspool where I was. So
yeah, I definitely have more in contact with my high school friends than I do my uni friends.
Yeah.
Like, not to say I don't have any uni friends. Like, I have, some of my uni friends are fucking best friends forever. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I think that whole thing of like, oh, don't worry about high school because they won't be your friends for life. I think that's kind of bullshit.
yeah.
I think you'll know if you've made a friend for life.
Yeah, exactly.
I think so.
Exactly. There is no designated time when you will make friends for life. It all happened along the way.
Yeah.
But I remember like finding my first friend group, and I was just realizing, oh, so I don't have to pretend to be someone likable to be around you guys, because you guys just kind of like me for the person I am.
Yeah.
And that was just like so mind blowing for me.
What the fuck is that all about?
Yeah, it's just like having friends that are like just like, even though there's like a lot of people, it's just like everyone's there to help each other.
Yeah.
Like if you're having a low point.
It's the whole philosophy of, God, you're a cunt, but I love you.
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah, and just like mates that are just there for you, like regardless of like, what's going on. Like, and I really, really, really value that.
Yeah.
And it's a shame as well because I fucking hate texting so much. I absolutely despise texting.
Yeah, right. Same here.
And I pretty much the only people I text are like people I know that I'm gonna meet up with, that I'm like, yo, when we're meeting up, what's happening? Like, or it's like business or anything. But outside of that, I avoid it like the plague.
Right.
Because I just hate it.
Why do you hate it?
It doesn't feel genuine, and it takes so long.
It's
like I would rather have a 30-minute call than text for like a whole day back and forth.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Same here. I'm sure you both know I'm fucking awful at replying to.
Oh, Gone is the fucking
you are.
worst, bro.
And that's because like it takes like so much mental energy to like be on
I get
and look at notifications that I just have to like have a dedicated time when I check messages. Otherwise, one, I just get distracted from whatever I'm doing, and I much rather I value so much having like just an in-person or like an invoice like actual communication, because there's so much that I can't communicate when it's just during text that I just rather talk to people.
No,
I don't
true.
know.
I feel that.
No,
I
I
feel
get that.
so
I get
much.
that.
I feel like a lot of, a lot of context is almost lost as well when you're just texting as well.
Yeah.
Like it can't be like all the emotions can't be like, portrayed properly.
Yeah.
Almost. And I kind of realized as well that the friends that you'll have in life, the ones that like I might not text right now, like the real friends are the ones where it doesn't matter. I don't fucking need to text them.
Yeah.
Like even for a year or two.
I
but
know.
then I go back and it's like
exactly
nothing's
the same.
Exactly,
It's exactly the
exactly.
same. The way I see it is like it's kind of like a family reunion.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And I didn't fully understand the term where it was just like friends of the family you choose until I had a proper friend group.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I remember hearing that for like my entire life and thinking, that's such a bullshit term. that's like this like cheesy Disney movie-esque term that isn't actually real. It's a fucking urban legend,
Yeah.
It wasn't the destination. It was the friends we made along the way.
So with that being said,
Yeah.
back to the question at hand, which was, how long are you going to stay in Japan for?
Right.
What do you think? What do you think, boys? Because I think right now, my main thing is that like, at the end of the day, with all my gripes that I had, and I've made them very known, as the comments like to point out that they think I despise Japan. No, I'm very critical of everything in life.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Japan, the standard of living is just much higher at the moment. and I'm enjoying
Especially
it.
when you're British, you just learn to complain about all the little
Yeah. A lot of people just think that I really see a lot of comments like, Connor's so fucking rude about Japan. I'm like, no, I'm just British.
No, it's just being real, bro. It's just being real.
It's just being British.
There's no perfect country out there, man.
We complain about everything.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question to you guys. So we all are living in a place that is not where we were born. Did you always know that you would move out of your home country and live somewhere else?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, at least for me, I moved out of the house that I was born in.
Yeah.
So I never moved until I moved out of my home. So I've been living in that, like my parents' house for like 21 years straight. And I was just like, yeah, it's home, but it's also like, you go home and you just see the same view out of the window every day, right? It's like, I need something else.
I love my home. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think, especially because I was so active online from such a young age,
I
became so aware, like globally,
of other different places,
Right.
and then it just made me curious. I guess I remember, going back to my fucking mum. It was just I remember like when I was a kid, I was just like, Mum, I'm telling you this now. Love England, but I'm gonna move out.
3-year-old gone.
I'm like, no, seriously. I was like, between like when I was like going from a kid to a teenager, I fucking knew that I would like move out of England eventually.
Right.
And I was like, Mum, don't take this personally. I'm just gonna move out. I'm gonna move out. I'm not gonna be in the country. And mum was like, sure, bet. Okay, son, whatever you say. And then I remember when I told her, hey, mum, I'm just gonna like fucking move to Thailand for a few years. She was like surprised Pikachu face, like, Nani? You were actually serious all these years. And yeah, because like, not that I don't love England, but I wanted to experience like different cultures and everything since I was a fucking kid. And two, like, I don't know, I was always, in my head, I was always thinking that there was this perfect place to live. That wasn't the place that you were from, because everywhere else seemed so exotic, right? And everything. And like, the more I move around, the less idea I have about where I truly want to fucking settle down. Right. It's really weird, right? Because especially if you live, like, stay in a place for like any substantial amount of time, you see all the great things that are there, and you also see the bad things. There's no fucking perfect place. And the more you move around, the more you realize there is no perfect place. So you got to make that decision of, hey, what is actually best for me, you know?
Legit, when between the ages of like 12 and 16, I thought America was the perfect place.
I thought America was the perfect place.
I really wanted to live in America all my life until like age... I'm probably actually until like I moved to Japan. I still like before that I was like, I kind of still want to go to America, man.
Really?
I don't know. Always since a young age, I'd always been exposed to American culture. I always spoke with Americans online. Yeah, and I just really loved their style of doing things.
Yeah.
I loved how fucking crazy they are, man.
I don't know. I think it's because for me, it's like I didn't really like interact with any Americans.
I think that's the thing, right? Because I'm throughout, like literally from age 12, I've been chatting with people online, always voice chatting. Like my parents, for some reason, didn't stop me.
and most
random Americans,
and most of the online friends you got were just from America, right?
Yeah, a lot of them were.
A lot of the people you were friends with were from America.
And I was the token British friend most of the time. They were like, "It's fucking corner,
it's fucking
No, we were cool back then.
Yeah, we were. That was when we were respected online.
Yeah,
God. I miss those days. Now it's all fucking memes and bad teeth and Tuesday. Oh, dude. YouTube.
In it.
This video is sponsored by Mac Weldon.
When it comes to holiday gifting for guys, I'll admit it's not necessarily my strong suit, but that's where Mac Weldon comes in. Now, thanks to Mac Weldon, it's super easy and simple to find something great, no matter which guy you're shopping for, whether you're shopping for yourself or for the boys.
Hell yeah.
The boys is all that matters. You can get everything from Mac Weldon's. Men's essentials, socks, shirts, hoodies, underwears, polos, and active shorts.
hey, I have the active shorts, God. Don't clown on them.
Do you have the active shorts?
I actually do. I wear them to the gym, God. Mac Weldon has men's basics that are guaranteed to keep everyone on your list comfortable. Like this sweater that I wear when I'm feeling lazy at home. Thank you, Mac Weldon.
And this t-shirt, which just look at how breathable this t-shirt is. Look at it. Perfect for the gym, which is where I wear it to when I go to the gym once a year, apparently.
And Joey's mask.
And my mask, which I wear everywhere to keep myself safe.
That's why Mac Weldon makes the perfect gift. I also have the Sunday lounge pants at home, which I didn't bring with me because there's stains and shit all over them. Because I don't leave the house when I wear them because they're so damn comfortable. I just can't get out of the house. But they also look pretty stylish too.
Mac Weldon looks great and feels great. From working out, going to work, or on a date, Mac Weldon is for everyday life.
And all Mac Weldon stuff comes in a wide range of customized fabric that keeps up with you no matter what your day looks like.
18 hours, silver, air knits, dry knits, warm knit, too many goddamn knits, that's for sure.
Plus, you can check out Weldon Blue, which is their totally free loyalty program. Level 1 gets you free shipping for life, and once you reach level 2 by spending $200, you get 20% off every order for the next 365 days.
But boys, you can't forget about the Mac Weldon guarantee.
Tell us about the Mac Weldon guarantee,
I thought you would never ask, gentlemen. Mac Weldon wants you to be comfortable. So if you don't like your first pair of underwear, you can keep them and they'll still refund you. No questions asked.
That is very generous.
It very much is.
I would have thought Mac Weldon would have wanted me to send back the underwear, but
no,
they're just like
nah, bro, keep it.
They can only imagine the heinous shit you've done in those after watching the hentai episode of Trash Taste. But win the gift giving season and get 20% off your first order. Visit macweldon.com/trashtaste and enter promo code trashtaste. That's macweldon.com/trashtaste and use the promo code trashtaste for 20% off. Mac Weldon, reinventing men's basics. I fucking nailed it.
TM. Thank you to Mac Weldon for sponsoring this episode. Back to the video.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more it is kind of fucking weird that I did speak to like just anyone like online.
I would never let my kid do that.
I would never let my kid do that. I don't know why I did it.
Your parents are just cool with it? Were your parents aware of it?
No, I didn't tell them.
Yeah,
I would
right.
just tell them that I was talking to my friend. They're like, because okay, so when I used to swear, right? I lived. My room was upstairs, right? So whenever I swore too loud and my parents heard it, I would hear this at the stairs. I'm like, Connor, stop swearing. I'm like, because my dad swore a bunch, right?
Yeah.
But he tried not to around me, but I could not stop swearing on Xbox.
Because you were that one angry kid on Xbox. Right?
Because, right, if you wanted any cred as a 13-year-old, you had to curse, man. Come on, you got to talk shit.
I mean, I can't relate.
This is how
Have you ever given any 13-year-old kid cred now that you're in the opposite end?
Yeah.
No.
If they shout.
Yeah, right.
Of course not. But when you're okay, to be fair, okay, British Xbox is a different beast,
Right.
Joe, than whatever the fuck you had, dude. It was because everyone in these lobbies was like 13, 14, 15.
No, that sounds
We
like
were
the
all,
Australian
like,
lobbies.
that
sounds like every Xbox
Yeah.
worldwide.
And so
You know?
half the games I would enjoy the fucking game more because I was fucking screaming at someone. For some reason I enjoyed
You were
it.
legit that one squeaker.
I wasn't. I mean, okay. Was I squeaking then? Maybe I was squeaking.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Right.
You were a COD squeaker.
Yeah. God. My God.
C-Dog VA confirmed COD squeaker.
Oh my God. That was so funny. So many so much dumb shit I did on Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So here's a
Incredible.
question now then. Now that you've like gone to Japan and gone to America, and these are like the two places you really like kind of like fantasized about when you were younger. Is there any place in the world that you still want to go to, or is it all just
what's on everyone's like country?
or is it
bucket
all
list?
just downhill from here? Like I've been everywhere I want to. There's nowhere else I want to go.
Okay, man. Not really. Here's the thing, right? Because people like say, "Oh, I want to go here. I want to go here." Like, there's some countries people are like, "I really want to go here." I'm like, why? Why the fuck would you want to go there?
Yeah.
They're like I'm
what?
not going to
I'm not gonna name any
Example?
This is going to sound fucking terrible, right? There are some countries, right, where it's like, not going to lie, if I want a vacation somewhere, I want to know that I can shit in a clean toilet. Okay, I'm just going to say, right? Is that a bad thing? Am I allowed to say that?
That's a very privileged
That's
thing to say.
That's hella
privileged thing to
privilege.
say.
I know it is, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to be honest. I don't want to fucking shit in the hole in the ground, man. It's too much.
You never get used to it.
No.
Have you ever had to use the hole in the ground shit toilet?
Yeah, in France I had to, and I thought this was a fucking civilized country. What is this? I don't know. Okay, this is like
Because I used to go camping so much, so like shitting in a hole was just normal for me.
because right. I spoke to Alan. And I'm sure when he comes on the podcast, he can tell about it. But he would tell us stories about how his dad forced him to go to Kenya on holiday.
Oh yeah.
And he made it sound out like it was fucking hell. And I'm like, why the fuck would I want to go on vacation there when everything sounds horrible? Like, what? Like, if I vacation, all I want to do is just relax and just chill out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to fucking do activities. I don't want to fucking ride a
No,
camel.
like,
I don't want to fucking be uncomfortable.
Everyone
You sound like
ha-
my granddad.
Honestly, I'm already accepted that I am like a 60-year-old white dude when it comes to
Like you
holidays.
just don't want to like adventure
wanna-
in another country, right?
I don't either.
I'm fine with
I'm 100% with Connor in this.
I'm fine with doing
man.
an activity on a day or two. You know,
Like,
maybe we can hike,
okay.
but I do not want to fucking do shit every day. I also don't want to have to like. Just,
I don't want to have pressure that I need to go see something.
Yes.
If I'm in a place and I'm just like, you need to go here, you need to go there, you need to see this, I'm just like, I hate it already. Like I will go to one cool place and it's just like I've seen enough. I'm satisfied. Can I just go home and just like fucking enjoy pine or something? Like, that's my perfect holiday.
and it doesn't come from a place of, maybe it does come from a place of privilege. I don't fucking know.
maybe.
Probably does, but I honestly don't give a fuck. I
I
just want to chill on my holiday.
I think it's just because of like what I went through as a kid. Because when you go on holiday as a kid, right,
Yeah.
you got to follow what everyone else says.
Yeah.
Right.
And I always had this fucking, especially if I go in a a big group, like this stacked fucking itinerary. Where all I wanted to do was just stay in my fucking hotel room and play my Nintendo DS. That's
Right.
all I wanted to fucking do on holiday.
That's, dude, because I used to go camping in France, like I said, every year for 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And most years I fucking hated it,
Yeah.
right? And my parents thought that I was just like, they thought it, you know how, okay, I get it now, what they think. They're like, oh, he's just saying he hates it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's what parents think. No,
Yeah,
no,
like,
I
he's,
actually...
he's just a tsundere about it, right?
no, I actually hated it. Like, it was like you were in a tent, you were sleeping on the floor, it was uncomfortable. So for like 3 weeks, you're eating the same shit. Like everything,
Okay, to be
everything
fair,
is grilled on a barbecue.
I love camping, don't get me wrong. I used to like my dad used to take
Yeah.
me camping like in the fucking Australian
Yeah,
outback
yeah.
like
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
time. But it wasn't for 3 weeks. It was like tops
it
like
was-
5 days.
That's the thing, right? I think that
3
was-
weeks is way too
I
long.
think that's what like has completely put me off vacationing in any places that aren't just like honestly, just like relaxing in a nice bed
Yeah.
and just eating nice food, like that kind of like put me off for life because I spent most of my childhood summers just sleeping on the floor, eating everything that had to be grilled because that's all you had to cook, right? It was a grill, eating baguettes nonstop, and then always those horrible public showers that are never clean, and then sometimes you would see like piss in the corner, and it would always smell, and it was just awful. Like everything was awful, and even as a 12-year-old, I could be like, is this some peasant joke? I'm too rich to understand, right? Like I don't know. Like I would always be like,
that would throw me off as well.
I would always be like, at home we had a toilet that was nice and it didn't stink of just everything. Why does it here?
I also wonder how different my perceptions of a lot of these activities would be if I actually went nowadays.
Now I would love it with my mates.
With my mates, because
but not for 3 weeks.
Part of the reason I like look back and dread about it is because you spent it with, you were forced to be there with like your family and something, and you wanted to do something else that your family didn't want to do. And I feel like that's just like that kind of memory has been ingrained into me that I just like, I hate this activity because I did that shit as a kid and I hated it.
Yeah, because my parents were obsessed with like maximizing the fuck out of the day. Like it was like, let's go. If we go in France, it's like, let's just walk around this town all day. And I'm like, fuck, no. I want to go to the arcade all day. I do not want to walk all day. Like I'm still at the age where walking just hurts. Right. All day, right? Like I don't know. Like for some reason when you're a kid, like walking long distances just doesn't work. Like,
were you an active kid?
100%. Like I was doing sports 2-3 times a week.
Oh, okay.
But for some reason,
just walking.
When I had to walk all day, it was just pain. It was just pain, man.
Pain.
And then
pain
and then when you're a kid, right? There's nothing more boring than fishing. I would have to do it.
That's true.
I thought,
I'm glad my dad never got me into fishing. Like my dad fucking despised
it's something
fishing.
that I could see me enjoying now with a mate and drinking a few.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've actually been fishing for the first time recently, which was like 2 years ago with Sydney's dad and Sydney's brother took me fishing for the first time. I actually really fucking enjoyed it.
Right. As an adult.
It's one of those things that like as a kid, you're just not wired to do it.
Okay. There it's going to make me sound so bad, but there is one big difference about why I can enjoy it now versus why I could enjoy it as a kid. And that's because alcohol is now involved.
I have never seen a man fish with not a beer in that little pocket. It just doesn't happen because I mean, it's part of the charm, right? Like going it as a kid, it is just like it's the ADHD simulator because all you want to do is like, why is there not fish catching on this immediately? Oh, I'm trying to get this fucking thing on the thing on my fucking. Where's my Nintendo DS? I need to fucking play Cookie Mama for 20 minutes to relax. Like you're trying to do it and nothing happens. You get shit fish, and as a kid, you're like, let's kill it and eat it.
Let's do something.
Let's fucking decapitate this fish. And then your dad's like, we throw it back in. Like, what's the point? I want to eat it. You know, because you're a kid and you think in every video game I've caught it and I've eaten it. Why are you stopping me, Dad?
It's the worst activity for a kid.
It doesn't make sense, and just the whole thing just completely ruined like doing that kind of stuff for me as an adult now because I have just no interest.
I would actually go back fishing with my mates because it was just like a nice male.
We should go fishing.
I would be happy to go fishing with you boys.
I haven't been fishing in like 5 years.
I would tell you what, because I've had this image of what fishing would be like my entire life, and because like my only experience with fishing my entire life has been through the fucking fishing mini games you get in every fucking Zelda game or every like it's in Animal Crossing or whatever.
You play for the free controller.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought to myself, there's no way it's gonna be like this, and I was fucking surprised at how accurate that simulation is. Like it literally felt like a controller rumble, and I'm just like, oh. Like, this is just like the fucking video games.
And you're just like, where's the A button?
Yeah. It's literally just instead of tapping the A button, you just go shh. And but for some reason, it was like very therapeutic. And if you like fishing mini games, it's exactly like that. And I was surprised, man.
Every like fishing enthusiast is just like frothing at the mouth, being like, how fucking dare he say that?
Man, I don't know, man. It's completely like. So to answer your question, Joey, oh God, sorry. No, I mean, there's not really any other countries that I'm like desperate to go. Obviously, I have never been to any of Asia, so I really want to explore Asia a lot more.
Like there's so many activities that I like the idea of. You know, like I like the idea of camping. You know what I mean? The idea.
2 days, 2 days max.
It's charming.
2 days.
It's charming. The idea sounds cool until you fucking wake up and it's like the fucking worst thing I hate is when you wake up and everything's just damp. You feel things and it's just damp, and damp is like the worst fucking climate. You know what I mean? It's like everything's damp and moist, and I'm depressed, and it's cloudy, and I'm just like, why am I here? I chose to be here. This is supposed to be relaxing.
Oh, dude, then you should come camping in Australia, man. It's like it's like fucking dry as a nut.
Yeah, but then everything wants to fucking kill you, and I have something else to worry about.
Only if you go out and fuck with the animals. Don't fuck with the animals, and they'll leave you alone.
Yes, camping in the UK is just either fucking cold as shit or just
Oh,
damp as
not
fuck.
gonna lie, camping in the UK sounds fucking horrible. Like,
I mean, because we have to do a thing in the UK called like, oh, you don't have to do it. It's optional, like Duke of Edinburgh. Did you do that?
my sister did that.
Yeah, where you basically like have to do a bunch of things to get a fucking stupid
Like, go out
award
camping
or
and
Yeah,
hiking
yeah,
and
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
and they always told you in school, it's like, you should get it because it's going to look amazing when you apply for jobs.
Yeah.
And no
No
one
one cares.
No one cares. No one cares. And on it, like, yeah, you have to do like a hiking/camping thing where you do 2 days of like full hiking with like the big bags
Yeah.
and then camp. And this is going to sound like so fucking stupid, but I was the only one who was like, I'm bringing a pillow. I want to be comfortable when I sleep. Right?
The privileged white boy.
Yeah, no. So I big brained it, right? Because all these kids brought like dumb shit, right? And we brought like a stove to cook on as well.
Yeah.
We were like 16 as well. So I brought the pillow, right? And as I was sleeping, they all start fucking trying to take it from me in this tent. Because they were sleeping on the hard floor with a t-shirt rolled up, and I'm like, no. I'm the one who was the stupid dick who carried this pillow all the way for like 8 hours. Like, this is my pillow.
This is my reward.
And I woke up, and one of them had fucking took it, and I woke up on the thing covered in fucking dampness, and I was like, oh my god, did it rain? Bear in mind, this is the 3-person tent, with 4 of us in it. And I woke up being like, oh my god, it must have rained so much. I go outside, it's completely dry,
Right.
and I'm like, oh, it was sweat. It was all sweat. It was all condensation. Oh.
Yeah, because my sister did Duke of Edinburgh, but she did like the highest level. So she like hiked.
Where it's like a week, right?
Yeah, she hiked across Vietnam twice.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did,
Why
Yeah.
would you want to do
know.
that?
I don't know. She
I
did it
did.
twice though.
I did 2 days, and I was like, I think no, this isn't for me. I'm gonna go back to sitting on the bed and watching anime. I think that I just this isn't for me.
Why did you even like decide to do it?
Well, because it's one of those things where it's like, I can do it. Like,
Yeah.
if you ask me to go hiking for a week, I'll do it. I'm very capable of doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
I just hate every second of it.
Well, then why do you accept it?
My parents were like, you should do it. And I was like, fine. Okay. And I was doing the other stuff anyway, because I was teaching kids chess at my old school.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like, I knew from the get-go when like the option was brought up of, dude, would you like to do Duke of Edinburgh?
Yeah.
Like, would you like to go hiking and fucking experience dampness for a week straight? I was like, no,
Well,
of course I don't.
I think because as well, they wanted like the kids who had a lot of experience camping to help the kids who hadn't done any. And there was only like 3 or 4 boys in like the Boy Scouts in like my year, and then there was like me who done a lot of camping. So it was like, okay,
So you were the experienced
I guess
camper.
to me it was like Connor should help out and
You were
join
the
them.
Boy Scout, bro.
Yeah, but I never did any like map direction or anything like that. It was my parents fucking did all that.
Yeah.
And I barely helped with setting up the tents.
Yeah.
Like,
You just put the bag down. That's
I used to
Yeah.
be like, oh, I'm gonna go play with the frisbee. So when we did it, I do remember this as well. Like when it came, I was like, I'll do the cooking. You can set up the tent, because setting up the tent is. And because it was one of the cheap ones as well.
Oh,
And the cheap ones are
fucking
like, connect the 576 poles together. And it's like, none of them can get it right. And I'm like, I'm just going to cook the bacon that I brought.
Yeah.
I was, I
I'd be
hated
down to
that.
go camping though in Japan. I've never been camping in Japan. And I've
Glamping. We should do glamping.
Yeah, I'm down.
Glamping is cool.
I've never gone
It's like
glamping.
camping without all the frustration.
It's like
It's like camping with privilege.
It's like camping with civilization. Like if we didn't want to like invent all this
camping with
shit, we wouldn't have.
attitude.
If we,
Yo, I'm gonna be real. I don't want to camp without 4G. Like, what's the point? Like, I'm just gonna say it, right? I know it's not the same. I don't give a fuck. I want 4G.
Yeah.
I can camp without 4G.
I can camp with
That's
that.
your-
shit.
that's
want,
problem.
Okay, you know what? I need a toilet. You're right. Toilets.
Yeah, toilet.
I don't want to shit in a fucking bag or a hole in the ground. There's a
Yeah,
reason.
you ever to
There's
dig
a
a-
reason. Fucking humans evolved and invented toilets in civilization.
Have you ever wiped your ass with a leaf?
No.
It just doesn't work. But that's all you have. What are you going to do? Grab a handful of grass? No, you have to use leaves and hope that you can just get most of it out. It's awful.
Well, that's why like the one thing we always took camping was like a bunch of toilet rolls.
Damn, dude, 2020, man.
Yeah, because what you do is you go out into the bush, you'd wipe yourself, honestly, put it in a bag, and then you throw all that into the fire.
I must have been as like 12-year-old me. It was like instant noodles or toilet roll. Fuck, dude. I mean,
I can't eat the toilet roll.
Yo, it is chicken flavor though. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. It's like
chicken flavor or poopy butt. Like,
oh god, it was. I do remember when we did it. There, it was awful because like it was a lot of kids that were just not prepared at all.
Yeah,
and had never even done any hiking at all. Right. And those things are heavy.
Yeah.
And a lot of them just couldn't do it, and you had to stay as a team. So it was like every 15 minutes, one kid would have a fucking mental breakdown. Yeah, and it was like,
I can't do it.
I can't hold it.
Yeah,
No, I have nothing to say.
So the only thing that like puts me off camping in Japan, from what I've seen, like only like the pictures and everything I've seen, is that it looks very, how can I say it's commercialized, because it's like you have this like camping spot and like I see a bunch of tents there.
It's very privileged.
Yeah, yes. And I'm just
you're put right next to someone there.
Yeah. And it's just, I remember the one thing I remember about camping is just like how little noise protection you have from one tent to another, right? You hear everything, right? And especially especially the camping experience I would like to have, which is like a bonding mate sesh. Like, I don't know, especially if you have like a bunch of Japanese people around you with tents and everyone values their privacy. Can you imagine how quiet you'd have to be?
Yeah.
Or we could just be those like ignorant guys and just be like, if no one's making noise at this campsite, well, I think we will. Like, fuck it. Like, what are they gonna say?
You just hear like at 2 a.m. just like aggressive Uno noises, like from drunk people. You know, I don't know. Man.
Fucking JoJo Uno session at 2 in the morning in a tent.
We should do trash taste hiking special.
Oh god,
I'd be down, man. I used to go hiking all the fucking time. God,
it's actually that's the
other worst part is it's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah. I'd be down, dude. I'd be down.
You know, it's all about. I'd be willing to do it now. Is it for content? Okay, I'm willing to fucking suffer for content. Whatever.
I am.
That's the tipping point, right? It's like, I'll do it, but is it monetized? Yeah. All right, I'll do it.
How did we get on talking about camping? I
don't know, but like, So what the fuck were we talking about? If you're gonna stay in Japan or not.
Oh well, I mean.
It was the which country would you visit? Because like, is there a country that's at the top of your bucket list right now for like visiting?
Korea.
Like, Korea.
Yeah, I really want to go to South Korea.
For me, it's Iceland.
Iceland?
Yeah. I don't know. I love everything about that country. The language, the just the culture around. I'm like, all the places I've seen, because it's such a tiny country, right? So it's like, if you have a car, you could and you have a week, you could probably visit most of that country.
I do want to go Mexico, but a lot of people I know who are Mexican who are like, it's dangerous as fuck.
That's what I've heard.
I'm like, oh, okay. I really like how safe it is here.
Exactly.
Like it's like food's amazing, really good time, just really fucking dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Is there one for you? Do you have like a bucket list of like, I want to go to this country?
I mean, probably Iceland is at the top. I do want to really go back to Korea as well.
Yeah,
Korea. I've only been there for like a few days, but I feel like that just wasn't enough time for me.
Yeah, I'd love to go.
Yeah,
it's just a stone's throw away, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I really want to go to Thailand as well.
Oh yeah,
I definitely want to go to Southeast Asia more.
Yeah, I want to go to Vietnam as well.
Yeah, I've never been to Singapore either, or Malaysia, or I've never been anywhere in Asia except for Japan. Yeah, so I really want to
basically like I want to travel more around Asia because I feel like there's only a few Asian countries that I haven't visited.
2020 psych.
Yeah, but,
Trash Taste South Asian tour.
Like, I mean, I do want to visit just everywhere, really, and just make my own, I joke and say, I jest that I don't want to go to a lot of places, but I wouldn't mind going and passing through and checking it out. Like Egypt, I really want to go to. Like Algeria, I really want to go to.
Yeah. Australia, I really want to go to Australia.
South Africa, I really want to go to.
Yeah.
And I was joking about Kenya, but I'm sure I could have a nice time there, and I'm just being ignorant as fuck.
I really want to go.
I'm sure there's going to be comments saying that I am. But
of course. Because like I've always thought like, I don't really want to like visit like this place, like Africa, for instance, or like the Middle East and stuff like that. But like the more I kind of hear about those places from people who are either from there or just from shit you see, it's just like, you know what? That actually might be kind of dope. I don't know, but it's such a toss up though, because there's a lot of those countries where you just hear nothing about. Right, and you're just like, are we hearing nothing about it because it's bad, or because people just don't go?
Austria is like a country you don't hear much about, but it's really nice. I really like Austria.
Yeah, right.
Austria is super chill, and
you go skiing there, right?
Yeah, I've been skiing in Austria, and snowboarding in there, and Italy. And it's really nice. Just skiing in Europe or snowboarding in Europe in general, it's like It's super expensive, but it's
I
really nice.
I really want to do it.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I just want to go to Europe more.
Yeah, everything's just super fucking expensive.
This is just like a travel wish list this is just us fantasizing in COVID times.
I'm just getting crazy.
Remember before COVID existed and we could travel to places?
And when I can see my family. Yeah, I do want to go back home and visit my family because it's weird because this will be like the second Christmas in a row where I haven't seen them, which is normally would be the thing where it's like, okay, I'll go back for Christmas. All right, fuck it, you know. But yeah, I mean that's one big thing. But as far as living in Japan goes, and I mentioned on like the quality of life being really good here, I definitely feel like at least another 2 years I want to stay here.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a case of in a year, I'll know if it's going to be another 2 years. It's one of those things where I'll just, as it goes, I'll keep changing that number.
That's how it is. Like with a lot of my friends who are from overseas who live here or have been living here, it's always the case of, all right, we'll give ourselves one more year, see how it goes. And then usually, like 90% of the time, after that year ends up, it's like, another year? One more year? And then it just keeps going, right?
And it's such a pain to move shit back. It's like, is it really worth the moving?
I really can't be bothered with that again. But do you guys feel this as well? I don't know if you guys feel the same, but like for me, this has been the first year where what I do actually feels like a career as opposed to just me just being self-employed, doing my own fucking job that...
I mean, I've never been employed. Like, up until this point, so it just feels good.
I don't know. It just feels like for the first time, this isn't just a job. It's like my career now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It just you don't think doing YouTube and your job, that environment really matters because you can technically do it anywhere. But the more like I've done this and the more I've like grown up, the more I realize, hey, environment really fucking matters in your workspace.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember in university where I'm just like, I can do YouTube wherever. I can do it in my fucking room. I can do it next to my bed. And then I slowly realized I need my own fucking office. I need my own fucking space. I need to separate work and my leisure time because you can survive with it and you can do it, but there'll end up be a point where you get fucking depressed and you get tired and it's not healthy.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely completely changed my productivity, but also just like my enthusiasm towards my career. And I guess like it really cemented the severity of what I do, of like, this isn't just like a little fun thing that you get paid for. Like this is your job, right, man? This is your career. Like putting food on the table is this now, and everything you do revolves around this. And definitely, like moving to a bigger place and getting my own like actual workroom has like really cemented that. Like, okay, this is like, I can fuck around on camera and be silly and goofy. Yeah, but it's also my job. Like I can't half-ass this shit. Like I need to be serious about it. But like that's brought on an entirely different, I guess, layer of enjoyment that I otherwise would have never experienced. And I don't know, like, I think it's because as well, like, of the topics that we cover, of like, the kind of otaku kind of stuff and like anime kind of stuff, where it's like, doing it here as opposed to anywhere else is just, I think, completely different.
Oh, it totally is. Like one of the biggest things I've like realized this year is a lot of the mystery, a lot of like the mystery and the prestige, not the prestige, like the mystery around like the anime industry itself has kind of like I see the anime industry totally different because I remember before like I moved here and as a teenager, as a kid, you think maybe I could like as a dream job I could work in anime one day. But like you have no fucking clue what steps you need to take. So like I thought you had to be like incredibly fucking lucky. And like the more I meet people who work in this industry, the more I realized, you just need to be here. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
you just need to be here and know one person.
Yeah,
and that's enough.
And sometimes you could fucking look up a job on Craigslist. Sometimes you're like teaching English or something, and you just happen to
meet a person.
You just happen to stumble upon someone who has an opportunity. It's like the biggest advice I can give now, if you are interested in working in the Japanese anime industry, is just to fucking be here. Because I've been surprised at how like sometimes even how low the bar of entry is, because it's like the bar of entry seems to be university degree, but that's like the minimum you have to get a visa. But aside from that, it's just kind of being here and just hanging around the right places.
Definitely noticed that.
And I just didn't think it worked that way. You know what I mean? Right. I thought it was just like closed off to all kind of foreigners and anyone else.
Or it took like years and years of building yourself up, right?
And you go to those anime studios and you just meet a guy who's like, oh, I'm American.
And then you ask, oh, how did you get this job? Because it was like you think they just had like the craziest fucking journey
And
to
they
get
just
here.
like Craigslist.
The most of the time it's just, I was just teaching English, and then I just saw a job posting for a random anime job, and I just went for the interview, and I'm just like, oh, wait, it was that easy this entire time? Did you even speak English? And
It's literally the McDonald's method. It's just like, I see an ad, I'll apply for it. Fucking why not? Yeah.
Get the job. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, sick. I got the job. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess totally agree with that in sense of all the mystique around it. It's kind of like slowly peeling away, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to summarize all my feelings about living here and working here. But yeah, definitely structure has been added. And I don't know if that's because of Japan or because of how we've scheduled and built our work environment.
Optimized ourselves,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, having an agency here that works with us and works with anime has been super helpful.
Yeah.
And has helped me feel like a lot more, like you said, structured. Because before this, I was just kind of fucking around, I think. And I was just hoping that the checks kept coming in.
Yeah, right.
I was like, I'll just keep making stuff that I really enjoy.
It didn't feel real, right?
Yeah.
No, and I assumed that every year could be my last.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to think, okay, well, as long as I don't do fucking anything stupid,
As long as none of us make an apology
as
video.
long as none of us get cancelled,
you're probably going to be around for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You can normally safely assume I got a year left in this at least, right? Like you can probably normally plan a year or two,
Right.
And some people are like, well, damn, shouldn't you be working on getting like a proper career and whatnot? And like, what is a proper career anymore? Like, bro, some people like still 50 years old driving Ubers. Like, is that a career? Like, why people got to make a thing about a career?
It's just your prerogative, right? Of like
whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. If you're getting the money and it's making you happy and you're not hurting anybody, I think that's a proper career.
Yeah, the way I see it as well is that like if for some reason YouTube falls through, in a year and I got nothing left, like, hey man, I've got experiences people could like kill for.
Right.
Yeah,
All three of us have been smart enough to kind of establish ourselves in, fields outside of YouTube.
Yeah, my plan my plan B used to be go back to the BBC and get go back into engineering and all that stuff. But now, like, if YouTube falls through, like I have other plan Bs of like other businesses I could possibly get involved in, and that's like it's given me like in a career that really shouldn't have the feeling of any kind of job security. I do feel secure that I do have a specific skill set that working in doing this has given me, as opposed to 5 years ago when I'm just like, what the fuck can you learn doing YouTube?
Yeah.
What the fuck can I actually learn?
I know how to edit a video.
When you look back and you start doing YouTube, you just think, what can I possibly put on my CV?
I'm getting nothing out of this.
What can I possibly put on my CV? Right.
And then now you're like, if in terms of social media entertainment and marketing, it's like it's a big list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think is most YouTubers as like the fucking dumb people.
Dumb college dropouts.
I mean, you do see a lot of them who are like, fuck, I'm in the same category as him.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think what people don't understand is that there are a lot of companies that wish they had people who understood those kind of like, because a lot of companies, you'll see them, man, they don't fucking understand social media at all. No. And if we did lose our job, there is a good chance that we could probably work in a company and be ahead of their social media department or help with strategizing, right? Consulting, anything, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like Dr. Disrespect, right? He was an online creator, and then he went to work for, I think, Activision, right? Or Infinity Ward, and he was the head of their community relations.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for a while.
Oh, wow. Before coming back to streaming?
Yeah, so before he came back, that's what he left, because he was a big COD streamer, I believe.
Right.
And then he left to go and be their community management or something along those lines.
Social media management.
Right, something along those lines. And then he came back, right? And it speaks to even back then that someone who had just been doing videos online who seems very amateurish, that knowledge that you gain is so invaluable, and companies wish they understood that, and they could hire as many teams as they want, but
right, because it's so rare, especially for someone like Dr. Disrespect to like reach numbers like that. It's not something that you can like. It's not something that it's like, well, I got a degree in it, I studied it, therefore I'm going to get results. Like that it just doesn't happen. Right?
You learn a lot through YouTube, and I think that even if you are doing it as a hobby now, and you don't see any potential in it, I think the skills that you're learning are really, really like useful skills. I don't think you realize are useful.
Yeah, one important skill that I had to learn how to do is kind of realizing what skills I thought were useless and were actually not useless. And it's actually thinking back to be like, oh yeah, I do know how to do this thing. Maybe this is actually useful in some way. Because it's like part of making yourself look sellable as a person to any employee is what skills have you got and what like experience do you have. And we grew up in like a generation, or at least like especially with Asian parents, where we were taught, hey, do well in tests, get like your degree, go to university, and if you don't go to university, you're a fucking dropout.
Yeah.
And you're scum. You're not my child.
Yeah. And like the older I grow up, the more I realize, if you have like certain career options and certain like career paths that you want to go down, yes, a degree is you definitely need that. But if you kind of don't know what you want to do yet, that doesn't mean that every other skill set you gain is invaluable.
Right.
Yeah, you don't need a degree to make a plan B in your life, right?
Yeah,
like, it's like I never learned anything about like business or marketing in school. Like I didn't take any of those like classes. I never did any of that shit. And I learned so much about that kind of shit just from doing YouTube.
Yeah,
and that's like a really valuable skill to have. But I didn't need to go to school for it. I just had to fucking
do it.
I just had to go through it and experience it.
Because the way I see it, right, I have an engineering degree.
Yeah.
If you put me in an engineering workplace, I wouldn't know fucking shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe I understand the rough concepts that make up a lot of basic engineering, and you could probably teach me a lot easier. But you couldn't just plop me in an office and be like, do it.
Yeah,
I would have no clue at all,
exactly.
because you have to learn how that company
You haven't
does the
utilized
thing.
that skill, right?
Right. And without using it practically, it's like, what am I doing? I've just got good at tests. Like I was shit, and I constantly got frustrated because I never felt like I was learning engineering. Although I was learning the concept. I felt like a lot of it was so impractical. But I mean,
you were learning it through your head, but not through your body, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't using it, right? Like we learn. It's like why this is important. They tell you, but it's like I don't fucking like.
Have you guys ever had like a proper real job interview or anything like that?
Yeah, and it was rough.
Well,
yeah, I've had that.
Was yours for like McDonald's?
No. For like it was
like a real job.
Oh, okay.
So like before I decided to do YouTube full time,
Yeah.
I was actually still applying for engineering
Right.
jobs because
Right.
I was going to do a year in placement,
Right.
which is in I don't know if they do this in Australia. You could basically, after your second year in the UK,
You have an industry year.
Yeah, it's an
where
industry
you're actually
year.
like just basically working.
Yeah, you get paid to work, and it's normally those kids that do really well in third year as well because they come into it with a lot more like
Like an internship?
Practical experience.
Yeah,
like kind of like an internship.
an internship that actually pays well, and you normally get a job after it. Like they're normally
you get the job offer for that placement after your like year ends.
and some of them might even offer to pay for the third year and the masters. So it's kind of like no downside of doing it, especially in engineering. Like it's really good.
The hardest part is getting an offer in the first place.
It's really hard to get a good place to take you.
Yeah.
And I remember I did tests for like Rolls Royce and stuff, and they were hard. Like they would make every single one of them. It was so annoying. Yeah. You would apply for it, and they'd make you do this in like an hour and a half long test that was hard as shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And eventually, you just got to the point where you were like, I've done 4 of these in one day, and it took all day, and I know I'm not going to get any of them. Let's be honest. I'm not smart enough to work in Rolls-Royce's jet engine department. I'm just going to be honest, dude, that ain't me, you know? And I had an interview for one, and I just remember them asking me questions, and I'm like, fuck, I can't even like stomach the lies. I don't even have
You didn't even have the business smile?
I care so little about actually getting this job that I couldn't even sit there and lie to the guy. I wouldn't a normal job interview. I would be like, of course I know.
Yeah.
Of course, you know.
Yeah, I never really like worked any job like before YouTube became a job.
Right.
I mean, like I told the story of how I tried for McDonald's and failed, and then I did one internship like during uni, but at that point, like YouTube was kind of becoming more of a priority that I knew I probably wasn't going to go into this field anyway.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not going to say the company name, but like last like 2 years or so, I've been approached by this like relatively big company, like international, that like really wanted me. And that was the first time where I went into like an actual like proper job interview.
Yeah.
But I didn't do one interview. I did 17 interviews.
Holy shit.
Not to mention, I did some here in Japan, and then I also did some in LA.
17?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I did some in LA. So like when I was like staying at Aki's place in Vegas, they like flew me out to LA just to do like 6 more interviews.
Oh my God.
And then I had to fly back. And at the end of the day, I didn't get the job. So that was like really bummed. But like,
I'd like to think that after the 16th interview, they were like, I don't think so, but let's try one more time. Just to make sure.
And it was like a different person every time. as well.
Yeah.
So like, but this is like a pretty big company. Like I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to say who, but like it was a pretty big company.
Yeah.
And it was like it was a company as well that I was really interested in as well because it's like, oh, like if YouTube falls through, this is a perfect place to work. Right?
Yeah.
Like hell yeah. Like this is my plan B. And so I was genuinely excited to be like, maybe I might get this job. I don't know. And then, but yeah, it was just fun. But I think that just made it so much more stressful.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, sorry. Go for it.
No, because it was like, because I was genuinely interested, but it's like, how do I like tell that to the person without sounding like an absolute kiss ass? You know, like,
you actually
really
do want to
want
work.
Yeah, it's like, yes, I love everything you do. Of course, I want to work
So
for your
if you'd
company.
have got that job, would you have quit YouTube?
Hard to say.
Wow.
It's hard to say now that with the place you're at in YouTube. I remember every person in their YouTube careers thought, maybe I'll get a proper job because I don't know when this will fall
Yeah,
through,
right. You know? It was at that point where I was like, I'll give myself
There's a lot of
maybe another year,
anxiety
you know?
and a lot of what's the word? Like you don't trust it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you don't
think,
know.
You think it's temporary.
Yeah, you
even
don't-
though you know it's not. There's always
yeah.
that gut feeling.
And then I think I can understand sometimes why, you know, some people, YouTubers want to move on and want to do something else.
Yeah.
I understand that. I don't have that interest right now and I don't want to move on because I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm starting to understand after doing this for like 5 years, I can understand the mindset of why someone wouldn't want to be in that coin flip every day is like, well, let's see if I've got a job today. You know what I
right?
mean?
Yeah.
It is kind of like, it is really stressful to do. And I think that I've just become used to it.
Yeah.
But if you put someone in this situation overnight, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like,
Oh, they wouldn't be able to handle it.
well, maybe not handle it, but it would definitely wear on you. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going back to job interviews, though,
Yeah,
I do have
sorry,
like
go
a
ahead.
story of like my very first, I'd say, real job interview because you know I've had job interviews for like co-op and like call
They don't
centers
count.
and stuff.
They don't
really count. We're talking like
They
big.
just want to make sure you're not a fucking criminal.
Exactly. All you have to do is just be a competent person, and somehow Joey can even be that for his McDonald's interview. But that's a different story. But like we're talking actual like big boy companies. Okay, you're here for a specific skill set. So this was like before I got my job at the BBC. So as you do as a graduate, you apply to about
Everything.
10 million different companies and
Yeah.
just hope one of them sticks.
Yeah.
So one company that actually called me back for an interview was a missile company. So I would
sick.
basically be kind of
Like pew, pew missiles.
yeah, like
What are the missiles are there, Joey?
I don't know. It just sounded really weird. It's like a company that makes missiles. Like
is that the
what?
sound missiles make?
Yeah, pew pew.
So yeah, what'd you do? Yeah, I designed.
Get down, the missiles are coming.
But yeah, it was a proper missile company, and I was applying to be like a systems engineer to like design and make missiles. So like obviously I go in the interview and I'm fucking nailing this interview. Okay, I can't remember how it is like the interview was split up into two different segments.
Right.
Like there was the one where like they like interview your like personality and I don't know, I can't remember what that's called. No, there's a technical term.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one where like they grill you about why do you think you'd be a good fit for this company, and you say you're a fucking team player. You're a perfectionist who
What do you want from me? I'm gonna
what are my weaknesses? Oh well, I just
love money. I love money.
I am a perfectionist, and you can't fucking say, look, I just need money and I need to pay off my fucking student loan. Why are you asking me questions that you know the fucking answer to? Okay, so. But like I breeze through that, and I know I'm doing a good fucking job. Right?
Right.
And then I get to the technical interview. And the technical interview, I actually prepared for this, right? Because, I'm applying to be a fucking missile designer. So I should probably know the basics of how a missile works, right? And sure enough, I get to the technical interview and they ask me, so can you explain the broad basics about how a missile works, right? And so
They go pew pew pew.
they go, beep, 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 beep. No, so I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but my degree is in electronic and electrical engineering. So
Yeah.
I was, so basically this was going to be a breeze for me. I know how a missile works, so I've done my research.
He's
on
done
this.
the study.
Yeah. And so I start. So there's two interviewers. There's one older, serious guy, and then there's one like younger, not exactly a graduate. But he's been there a few years, but he's like at the time he was like late 20s, early
more
30s.
understanding.
Yeah, exactly. So I start explaining how this missile works. So there's like a whiteboard, and like so I draw the missile, right? and I'm like explaining everything. I'm like yada yada. This system does this. This system does this. And so my final year degree project, my thesis, sorry, was on like real-time object tracking and everything like that. So perfect for what I need to explain here. So I start explaining how this missile like tracks different objects. So I draw this rectangle and I label that targets. And then I draw a dotted line from the target to like this missile that I've drawn, right? And so I start explaining, okay, this is how the tracking system works. And the tracking system is in the front of this missile. And so I cordon off the front of this missile, right? And I'm fucking getting into this. I'm like, okay, so this is how my experience with my tracking degree can like help with how I can explain like how a missile is tracked.
You're selling yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm fucking selling myself. And I'm getting into it. And then I look over. And then like the older serious guy was just like, yes, very into it. And then the younger guy was like trying to hold his laughter. He was just like,
oh no, what did you draw on the rocket gun?
And then I look over. I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, why are you laughing at what I'm doing? I'm like
I'm killing this. Why are you
I'm
laughing?
fucking killing this. My career is on the line here. I just want to get a job. What could you possibly be laughing at? And then I look at what I've drawn. I've drawn a penis.
How? How did you draw a penis?
I've drawn a big, girthy penis pissing on a rectangle. And
how? How did you do that?
I've actually got a picture, right? I've got to show you this picture.
I was really hoping this story's climax would be about a penis.
Yeah, I was figuring when he was saying
like,
he was drawing on a board,
be a penis
was coming.
Yeah, this is.
Oh my god!
I'll have to send this to her. But like, I didn't realize how much it looked like a fucking penis until
that's a straight up Johnny Sins dick, bro.
It is a fucking girthy penis.
That's a veiny motherfucker.
And then,
Holy
as,
shit. My
and
God,
then
God.
as soon as I saw that, right, I knew I failed. Not because I was doing a bad job, but you know when you're in the zone. And like, there's nothing that could take me out of the zone, knowing that I've just drawn a fucking penis in front of two examinees, and then after that I just start stumbling and I forget everything I prepared. Right.
You failed that test.
So you didn't, you didn't get it?
I didn't get it.
Fuck, dude.
They specifically said that I did super well on my like the personality side of things, but the technical side was lacking.
until you draw a phallic object on the whiteboard.
I had totally blocked out of my mind that they ask you technical questions because I think I was so fucking bad at it.
Right.
Because I remember I had a question and it was asking me like how turbines work. And I knew how they worked.
Yeah.
But you know when you're in a room with like two really old men who've been doing this for years, and they ask it like they're like, how do you shit? Tell me how you shit. Describe how you shit.
What?
Right? It's like I know how to shit, but when they're looking at me like that and they're asking me that way, I'm like yeah, the blades take the oxygen in and they mix it with. Am I right? This is right? This is right. Yeah, fuck. You know, I remember I just butchered it.
Yeah.
But also, did you ever do video interviews? But there's no one to talk to.
What? Video interviews?
Well, like on Skype and shit.
So if you pass the test, right, the math test. And personality, right? They would send that you wouldn't get an interview. You got a video interview where all you could see is yourself.
Yeah.
Oh no, I never had that, but that sounds horrible.
I've never had that.
I must have done this like three times,
right.
And it was like, so basically what it was is there would be. It fucking felt like a Mario fucking party quick time event. There would be a slide right where you could see yourself, and it would cut to a question, and then it would be like 5. 4, and then you have to answer it, and they would film it.
God.
It was terrifying. Like one of them was like so stupid. It was like, it's going, and it's like, I was like, okay, and then it's like, who is your biggest engineering inspiration? And I'm like, bro, I don't fucking know.
My engineering idol.
Yeah, I'm like, I just did this for the degree. I don't think about this shit. I'm trying to play COD. Like, what do you mean? And so I was like, fuck. I said like Einstein or something, and I'm like,
basic bitch answer.
And I'm not kidding, right? I said Einstein, right? I finished that question, and that's the next fucking thing. This is 2 of 7 questions. The next fucking thing, I just fucking all F4. I'm like, I haven't got this. I'm fucking all F4.
Einstein. I was the most famous engineer in the world.
You might have heard of him.
Because I was like, there's no way I'm getting it with an answer like that. That's like asking, what's your favorite meal? White bread. I love it. I love white bread. It keeps people potatoes. You know? It's like I literally alt F4 the next question because I was like, I'm not getting this. I'm closing this. Who fucking needs the rest of the questions?
Have you guys ever had like group interviews?
No.
I remember I had one, and like, so this was like the second company that I applied to, and we had like a team building interview, right?
That sounds horrible already.
Yeah, and so our first task was we were grouped up with another person, and I will never forget this person, even though he's a fucking genius. But I'll get to that later. But so so they were gonna look at like our team building. So the very first task, right, was very simple. So we get paired with someone, and we had to like learn as much information about them as we can, you know, like names, hobbies, yada yada yada, and then we'd have to like present that to the group, right? As like I'm sure they saw it as an icebreaker and everything.
Awful.
But you know,
the worst way to icebreak.
Testing out like communication skills and listening skills and all the basic fucking teamworking stuff you want to do. So I get paired up with Dan. Thank you, Dan. So we get paired up, and immediately he just goes, "Hey, my name's Dan. So here's how you want to do it. Like, I'll say whatever I want to say about you, and you just say it's right, and you say whatever you want to say about me, and I'll just say it's right. And so we don't have to worry about this stupid icebreaker shit. I'm just like, genius.
Yeah.
I'm
Gigabrain.
Gigabrain. So like, goes to our turn. He starts talking, and he's, you know, he gets my name right, but he just fucking makes up everything else about me. Like I like
absolute Chad move.
I like to play FIFA.
That's so smart.
My favorite film is like, I can't even remember what he fucking said back then.
Some of Wizard of Oz or some shit.
Yeah. And so then it gets to my turn, and I'm like, hey, this is Dan.
He loves FIFA.
No, like he's X years old. He's like 23 years old, and he's like, nah, 22. I was like,
no.
Yo.
Oh my
Are you
God.
fucking doing this right now?
Genius.
Are you fucking doing? Is he really fucking me over like this right now? And I say, yeah, and he likes to play Call of Duty. No, I don't like playing Call of Duty.
Wow. Top 10 anime betrayals.
And I was just like, you motherfucker. You are fucking me over, even though it's fucking genius, because I am your competition. I fucking hate you right now, but I can't hate you because I should have thought of this.
Bro, that's some fucking movie villain shit. I couldn't play someone like that. That's too harsh. Holy fuck.
This man was playing fucking 5D chess in an interview,
kidding,
man.
Fucking hell. I fucking hope he got the job. Like, Jesus Christ. Could you imagine if he didn't get the job after all that? He just fucked you over for no reason.
Hey man, dog eat dog world. I respect that.
Yeah,
I learned a harsh lesson that day, and I will never forget it.
There you go, uni graduates. You can use that. Fuck over your opponents by
That
that.
does seem like the kind of thing where it's like, that's too good to be true, and someone else brings it to you, right?
Yeah,
That's you son of a bitch. That's fucking damn.
Keep your enemies close, as they
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
God damn. Well, on that note, that's been this episode of The Trash Taste, I guess.
Hey, look at all these patrons, though.
Yeah.
Woo!
Beautiful people who support the
Bet
show.
this guy wouldn't fuck me over in a job interview.
I hope
this
Dan
guy?
was actually like Danny G.
Come down to Birmingham.
Come down Birmingham.
Ask for Danny G.
But yeah, if you'd like to support the show, then you can do so by going over to Trash
Hell
Taste
yeah.
Patreon. Also follow us on the subreddit and the Twitter. As usual, also listen to us over on Spotify. Links to that down in the description below.
Hell yeah.
And what else we want to shout out? Thank you to everyone who just joined our subreddit. Have you already shouted out our Twitter? I completely zoned out.
I did all of that.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was just like Joey saying words, and I'm just like, wait, is it my turn to speak? What am I supposed to say?
Nah, I got you covered, bro.
Epic editing by Mudan.
Yes.
Very epic. Very nice.
Very nice.
Yes, thank you
Alright.
very much.
Thank you for watching.
And that
Bye.
was it.
Bye.
Bye.